The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Winter Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. This sports program starts right now. Football! It isn't happening today, and it didn't happen yesterday, but boy, it's happening tomorrow and for the rest of the weekend, and we can't wait to chat about all the storylines happening around the greatest sport on earth, American football. Now, there's obviously going to be some pop culture conversation as well, because one of the greatest players in the history of the NFL is dating the biggest icon on earth right now, and he came out on his own podcast and talked about the entire situation with his brother Jason, and we'll have to break it all down. Now, with that being said, it's not just me today here in the Thunderdome. No, we got a packed house. We'll be joined by Bobby Carpenter in about 28 minutes or so. He's the general from Ohio State. He gives his weekly top 5 college football rankings. I'll be excited to hear if there's any moves from this past week with Ohio State ranked at number 1 last week. I assume that got cemented this past weekend in front of Touchdown Jesus. We shall see. JJ Watt will be joining us today. Gabe Davis will be joining us today. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys Turn Diggs is here. 9-year NFL vet and host of Everything DB, the Man-to-Man podcast, and the NFL Matchup Show, which
Hell yeah.
it's on all ESPN platforms.
Is the show.
And the ESPN, that is the E for ESPN.
That's right.
Oh.
Okay, that is it right there. That E is the ESPN E. Don't even think about putting anything before that.
No.
Okay?
No.
Not in that particular font. You can go Times New Roman,
Wide.
Capricorn,
Wide.
whatever the other ones that you scroll
Wingding.
through. You can do all.
Sanskrit.
Don't even. No.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Just the ESPN E there.
Oh.
What?
Go.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Guys.
Jeez.
Worse than the F-bomb.
Anyways, kind of almost got sued for this by the company that we work for. Interesting, but nonetheless, that particular network that we're lucky to be a part of and very thankful for a large majority of the humans we've interacted with, also has a show called NFL Matchups on it.
That's right.
Where this guy is a host and he breaks down film in beautiful fashion.
Nice.
It's on at 2, 3 a.m. at all the platforms that you can get to. More people need to watch it because this dude is phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler.
It comes on 8:32.
Where?
Saturday.
PM?
ESPN
Where?
2, usually.
8:30.
AM. Usually, so our first airing is usually about either 30 minutes or hour and 30 before college game day.
Okay. So that's good news. Little pregame.
Yeah,
in the
you're
college.
right, sir.
That's what I'll do. I'll put it on while I'm getting ready for game day. I'll be
Well,
able to watch.
I'm sure you got a lot of shit you gotta,
Well, I'm bouncing around. I'm shaking hands. I'm
Yeah.
telling people how you doing, getting the energy right, drinking 5-hour energies,
Right.
Red Bulls, and
Right.
green teas.
Right.
You know, because Saturday normally the end of the work week for me. You know what I mean? Because we got a daily thing we got going on here. And I don't do much with this particular show except for just show up and talk. All the other decisions are made by other people. So it's very easy, on the Monday through Friday stuff. It's very simple. And then Saturday morning, earliest morning, and also most lit morning normally. So we're right in there. I'll make sure I get NFL matchups in there because you're great on there. Speaking of being great on there, we got a doofus joining us every single week like we have for the last year. He's Jackie Moon, player coach who's won a Super Bowl, 12-year NFL vet, a man who won a bunch of awards in college but didn't get drafted high because his arms were short. What did he do after that? Just dominate people and stand in front of more first overall picks in the history of the NFL. Center, legend, ladies and gentlemen, A.Q. Shipley. A.Q., listen, I think getting to see you every single week has been inspiring. Because at one point, not too long ago, you were 375 pounds.
Yep.
Now you are down to what? Where are you right now?
250.
You look good, buddy.
Real good.
Maybe
Unreal.
You look really good.
Feel good.
Skin is glowing.
What do we say? Look good, feel good.
Feel good, play
We don't
good.
play good anymore because
You don't have to play at all. You play a little golf.
Play the game of life.
Yeah, you do play. You train with Ryan Bader for this next fight. You're doing a lot of playing around out
Let's go.
You look great. We appreciate you joining us. One of the things you wanted to talk about was the Miami Dolphins. I think a good way to get in there is from a podcast that Tyreek Hill did. Tyreek Hill did an interview and talked about his future. You know, a lot of people are getting into podcasting and digital stuff and TV, and then there's real estate. Guys in the NFL getting real estate because, you know, they're not making more of it. You know, so people dive in there. It's a safe investment. Maybe some stock markets. Tyreek Hill said he thinks there's a different pipeline that we should potentially get into. Here's Tyreek Hill's future.
You're gonna be all over, huh? You're gonna be on TV, everything. Huh?
Nah, when I retire, bro, I really want to be a porn star, though, bro. Like, serious.
Okay, so he wants to be an adult actor. Now, I think that'll certainly be something that'll captivate some degree of humans, and I'm sure Tyreek Hill does his thing. But what Tyreek Hill does on a football field, we hope we get to see for a long time. I hope he's going to be one of those grandpa porn stars. I hope we see him on a football field for a long time. What they're doing down in Miami, you, offensive linemen, incredibly impressed by, even though it's a massive passing attack. Describe their offense and why it's so much better than everybody else's.
Yeah, it's basketball on turf. I mean, that's what we've talked about. They are so good at what they do. They take what they used to do in San Fran, what McDaniel used to do, and they've implemented that with an unbelievable passing attack now. And it starts with him. They have a weapon. They use him. They decoy him with motions in the run game, and then they get him rolling on the motions, and they get him out in space to create angles. It's incredible what they're doing.
Now, they're underdogs this weekend, playing against the Buffalo Bills up in Western New York. I think with what we've seen, I mean, granted, the last 2 weeks of the Buffalo Bills, let's not.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people saw them week one and were like,
What's going on?
Bills are dead.
Bills might stink.
The Buffalo Bills are dead. The last 2 weeks, that is not the case. You probably haven't seen it, by the way, because it hasn't been much of a conversation. You know why? Because the Miami Dolphins have been in conversation about how great they are. Dolphins, though, getting 3 on the road feels like an easy pick here.
I mean, I'm going with them. I mean, that's a spoiler alert, but I'm definitely going with them. I think they're the best team in the league right now. But Gumpy told me we haven't won up there in 7 years up in Buffalo. So obviously Buffalo.
Interesting Gumpy stat. Gumpy, obviously diehard Dolphins fan, a man who had a 10-year ban from America about 2 months ago. Now he's all the way back, working his ass off. We appreciate you. Feels like right now, though, the Dolphins are the buzzsaw, and the Dolphins give the Bills problems. Remember, last year down in Miami was when we got the Ken Dorsey. So mad up in the booth, if you do recall, and people overreacted to how he overreacted about it. This is the Dolphin season right now, is it not? Are we not chatting enough about the Bills, I guess?
It is. Gambling-wise, though, a 2.5 just popped up, so the line is moving from 3 to 2.5, probably going to go that direction. So if you like the Dolphins, take the +3 now because 3 is a very, very key number in the NFL before it goes to 2.5. Just something to get out.
Okay, a little bit of eyes here, especially because we're bringing it up to I guess numbers are about to come out for our show on Monday.
Really?
Monday.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Speaking of, there's a clip coming from Outkick.com, and we were just talking about the Dolphins, and I don't want to go in a different direction and talk about college ball. We'll be doing that in about 20 minutes. But, like, there's a man who signed up to do our show who I think had no idea that our show was pretty big, and then it becomes the epicenter of one of college football's biggest storylines late Saturday night where Ryan Day calls out Lou Holtz. Anyways, actual Lou. One of the two Lou's responded to Ryan Day 2 days ago.
Correct.
In front of Touchdown Jesus and said, hey, if you want beef, I got beef.
I got beef all night, like Fogo de Chao. All you can eat. Come get some.
Okay, so we didn't know if actual Coach Holtz was going to respond in the exact same manner. Dan Dockage out of Indiana, formerly of ESPN, now full-time Outkick.
Okay.
Full-time.
Yeah, full-time.
Full-time Outkick.
No days
Every
off.
hour of the
It's not. And we understand that Outkick, the website, has said some things about people that are our new peers. We would like to let them know we did not say that. But what we will say, for the sake of journalism, since our show is literally in the middle of this entire conversation, whenever Lou Holtz responds to Ryan Day about what happens on our program, gotta show it. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Coach Lou Holtz learning a lot about our program quickly and then adjusting and moving on.
What was your reaction when you saw Coach Day after the game go after you?
Well, that's his choice. I can understand why he did. He doesn't want to talk about Michigan, 0-2. He doesn't want to talk about the big game coming up against Penn State and against Michigan again. He's a great coach. He's done a tremendous job. He's a great offensive mind. He hired an outstanding defensive coordinator from Oklahoma State, I think, and he's doing a tremendous job for him. Ohio State's a good football team. I don't think they're a great football team. And he can go after me all he wants. But I remember when we were playing Miami, and there was a big hullabaloo, and sometimes you say things out of emotions. I said in the football team, you show class during this game, and if you don't, you'll never play again. Now, if Miami wants to fight after the game in the parking lot, then that's fine. If they do, you say Jimmy Johnson's ass for me. I didn't mean it, but it came out just like this. I honestly felt that Notre Dame was a better football team and more physical, and I'm sorry that Coach Dave was offended by it. I hope he goes on, has a wonderful year. I don't think they'll be a great football team. I really don't. I felt Notre Dame won the football game. All we had to do was fall on the ball. In the last 2 minutes, Dan, the opposition is not Ohio State. The opposition is the clock. And if we used up their last time out and fell on the ball or just ran at them right away or straight away, which we've been doing very effectively, we got the ball on the floor and ran it right out to 35 without a third down. And all of a sudden, we get thrown for a loss on a trick play. But they called a beautiful game up until then. But so I said to Coach Freeman, I apologize. He's doing a great job. He's a tremendous coach. He belongs in Notre Dame. But don't let Ohio State beat us last week and beat us this week also, because we're worried about that game and the mistakes we made at the end of the game.
He hopped right back into his coaching chair right there.
Oh, yeah.
And here's him chatting about our show and not fully understanding that people might hear this.
I hadn't done TV for a few years, and I had no idea that it would be that that widely received. I really did. I had no idea Coach Mr. McAfee's show is so widely watched. But I made it, and that's it. And, you can't do anything about it. I can't change it. You can't erase it. You close ranks, you pick up the rifle, you march on. That's all you can do.
I had no idea. Okay. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was sitting there with a fake me, and then they tell me, hey, people are going to hear that. I go, bullshit.
Yeah, what?
And then all of a sudden, Ryan Day does his thing. AQ, we haven't got a chance to really get your take on this all. I appreciate when coaches utilize anything to motivate a team. When I was a kid playing soccer, our coach used to lie to us, his 12-year-olds, say, I heard those kids over there talking. And these other 12-year-olds wanted to go fight them. I mean, every sport that I've ever played in, coaches are grasping and pulling for anything to galvanize the squad. Him using an 86-year-old on our program who's doing an interview with an impersonator of the said person, obviously getting a pop for the crowd, a little bit of a reach, but hey, certainly got him going. Certainly got him going if you saw the way he reacted afterwards. Washington State's coach heard something that Lee Corso said on game day. Misheard what Coach Corso said, which I guess is possible.
Yeah, sure.
I guess that is possible. And he utilized that. And then Ryan Leaf came in and got mad. Dan Lanning, head coach of Oregon, basically utilized everything Colorado had been doing and everything they did in warm-ups as motivation for his boys about being disrespected. We're seeing these motivational tips and moves on the grand stage right now in college football because it's getting highlighted. What are your thoughts on it? And as a former coach, is that the way you would go about motivating the squad?
That is not the way I would. I think we all know my thoughts on motivational speeches.
No.
Hey, Q. I think we know that. It's well versed now that I am not the biggest fan. I think you play for the game, for the love of the game, and then in the NFL you play for your paychecks. Like, what is at stake, right?
I love the game.
Yeah, you played for
the love of the game.
I would have played for free in the NFL.
You would have.
Wouldn't you have? Yeah, we would have played.
There it is, Darius. Come on, be honest.
No, nobody on earth would have played for free.
Zero people.
0%. I mean, it's very dangerous, obviously, and it pays well, which is one of the main motivators for people through college and high school, by the way. High school, love the game.
Have to.
Playing with your teammates, playing with your boys, growing up. College, same exact thing. Now, these dudes are good.
Yeah. They get paid now.
Hey, good for these
good
guys.
for
them. I do think on those levels, though, the motivational speeches or tactics, I think they are more important with the younger guys, obviously, phones, social media, whatever they got going on in class and all type of shit. For pros, completely different.
College, though, I think like 18, 19, 20-year-olds who, even though they're getting paid, I don't think have sniffed what reality of life is, where it's like, I'm scared to lose my job. So I understand you're going to give me a motivational message here, and I appreciate it. You're doing a great job. Chuck Pagano used to deliver good little things to lean on.
Bangers.
He used to come ready. You know what I mean? And I think I've seen him a couple times before these meetings because specialists don't have as many meetings, like rehearsing, like going through how he's going to deliver it. And then he'd get up there every time and boom. And then 90% of the room is like, all right, didn't need that, but that was really good. I thought you did a great job. But in college, they do have to kind of rally the troops. So I appreciate what Ryan Day did. I don't mind it at all. I also like the fact that Lou Holtz came out and said, I thought I was right.
Yeah, still do.
Still believe that your team's not tough. Sorry about it. We should have won that game. I appreciate Dan Dockage getting Lou on. I appreciate Lou standing by his guns. And I appreciate Ryan Day doing what he did. I don't think I think lesser of Ryan Day because of this. There are some people that do. Do you view it that way?
No, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do to get your team ready. And whatever you believe that is, like maybe these people are fired up to hear Ryan Day get fired up. But having said that, I still think
James Franklin almost fought it. This guy's a Penn State guy. We have to remember that at all times. James Franklin almost fought a student. Remember that?
College is way different, right?
College is
way
animal.
different. Like that's what you have to do. Like that's what the kids buy into, and you can still mold their minds at that point. So I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get his guys fired up to play the season, to play this game, and give them some motivation. Maybe after they didn't play as well as he thought they were going to play against a good Notre Dame team.
And that's why it doesn't work for some coaches that are great in college and that aren't great in the NFL, right? Like even for Schiano. Schiano had like a pretty good run in the NFL. You could say he coached for multiple teams, but then it just doesn't work for guys like that. Yeah, great. It's not as if he went to the playoffs and won the Super Bowl, but for guys like that who are waiting, to yell
Was
at
Schiano
the
in the NFL a lot? Because I remember Tampa.
Head coach at Tampa. I thought he was an assistant at another place as well.
Patriots, right?
I thought he was with New England for a year.
You might be right on that.
Wow.
I thought he's had a couple.
So let's go through them. Petrino did not work out.
Stunk. Saban.
I've heard some players wanted to fight Petrino at one point. Like veteran players for Atlanta Falcons wanted to fight Petrino because of how disrespectful they felt he was acting towards fellow adults who have kids and families and mortgages and everything. Hey, we're kind of viewing life from the same perspective here as opposed to this. So it didn't work out. Saban had a run, though, at a bunch of places. Dolphins is all we really remember.
Yeah.
And everybody says if he had Drew Brees there, how would that have gone? Who knows? He was at a bunch of different places. He said he started in, Cleveland?
Yeah,
he was a Buddy Ryan.
Cleveland.
For Bill.
Yeah, so I think he had an okay run, but not as head coach whenever he got the Dolphins thing.
Pete Carroll. I mean, Pete Carroll's probably the shining example of what does work. Because he obviously won national championships and he's won Super Bowl.
Didn't work, though, at New England, his first try.
First time around,
Goes back to USC.
Lou Holtz was the head coach of the Jets for, like 1 year, and he went, I think, 1-11 and then left midseason.
Spurrier stunk.
Chip Kelly.
Yep.
Matt Rule.
Yep.
Matt Rule was
one of the most recent ones. What's that? You just made a face.
No, I'm just thinking about how all of these have failed.
Yeah.
And one
A lot of coaches fail.
Right?
It's hard.
Whether they're called.
It is hard.
They were paying $200 million in fired coaches' salaries last year.
Man.
Or something like the NFL. Remember
that was like before they fired Frank Reich and other guys, too. So it probably went up kind of drastically.
Roger Goodell sent a memo out to all the ownership and said, hey, we're all trying to make – Roger Goodell says, listen, my job is to make us all as much money as possible. I get it, okay? We're going to Europe. We're doing this, the TV ratings, the network deals, digital we're moving in. We're going to do it all. But do you know you assholes are spending $300, $500, whatever it was. It was hundreds of millions of dollars.
800, I think, between head coaches and GMs.
$800 million in fired coaches and GMs. Maybe a little bit more patience, maybe, And also, if we're trying to grow, let's save some money in some places. It's like it's hard to coach in the NFL. But you look at this list, I mean, Harbaugh has been phenomenal in college.
Yeah.
And also with San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, very good.
But I think he even knows that it's like the NFL wasn't going to be a forever home for him as a coach there. Bill O'Brien, now we're talking about a guy who, we have JJ on today. Has JJ ever talked about fist fighting this guy?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That was just a rumor, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
It was a rumor.
That and then the D-Hop stuff also.
But they got into it at practice.
Yeah, and it was like the
That's
whole
when
team
Fig
almost
Fig
fought
was like
Bill O'Brien.
a fever pitch with the Bill O'Brien ending kind of thing.
Yeah, it was right after he got that other job, when he added another job to his entire resume.
Yeah, lead counsel.
Yeah,
right.
Bill O'Brien at one point was head coach, GM, head equipment manager, head athletic trainer, lead counsel.
Yep.
And also, I'm not 100% sure if he was the hydration specialist
Wow.
for the entire
Everything
thing.
but the religious guy.
Yeah, he just wasn't the FCA guy, which was Jack Easterby.
There it is.
Who is an absolute dog. And that guy can actually crip walk on water.
Yes, he can.
Like Jesus Christ himself. But Bill O'Brien did not work out. You know, he goes back to college, though, with Saban, does okay. Chip Kelly, incredible run in college at Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. Then he went over to Philadelphia, remember, and they had smoothies every morning, piss test every morning, right? And wasn't that what it was? Do you remember hearing all this?
Yeah, and they changed the whole practice schedule, which everybody hated.
The off days were different.
Jason Kelsey talked about it.
Full practice on Saturday.
That
Saturday,
photo of
full
you
practice.
three where he's 270 pounds. He's like, oh, that was probably during the Chip Kelly era because I did not weigh that much.
Yeah, so Chip Kelly, he came in and instituted the Oregon way, and it started working a little bit.
They went 10-6. I think went to the playoffs the first year.
But end of the season, it seemed to always kind of, fall off. And it's because I think the way they were working every single day was just not sustainable, is what some people said.
Got rid of a lot of guys, too. I think Deshaun, Shady, Macklin, like a lot of their core Vic, maybe.
Had like 10 Oregon guys, I think, by the time the regular season starts. That's when they traded for Kiko Alonso.
We're talking grown men coming in and having to pee every morning so we can test your hydration levels to make sure you're committed to the team. Boy. And then you hear every single one of your friends that's in the NFL. You guys doing this? No. That also works against Chip a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, trying to do things differently when nobody else is doing it. If you don't win, which they did early, but if you don't win the big one, that's going to fall off quickly. Happy Chip came back to college, UCLA. They got a kid, that freshman quarterback, Dante Moore, or whatever. But you think about, you keep going down the list. Cliff Kingsbury was on there. He didn't have much success in college.
No, he got fired from Texas Tech and then was hired as the head coach.
I think he was 500 with Mahomes, right?
Yeah, and then he goes to USC for a month as the offense coordinator, and then Arizona's like, you know what? You know McVay? Yep. You look cool. Yeah. All right, you're going to be our head coach. Let's talk about a team that did a lot better than we thought in Cliff Kingsbury. The Arizona Cardinals. AQ, I know you live out there and everything like that. This team took the world by storm whenever they beat the Cowboys this weekend. Everybody's talking about Taylor Swift coming to a game, and the Cowboys are dead. This Cowboys team's a fugazi. They lose Trevon Diggs on Thursday, I believe, in a non-contact injury already into the work week, which is a damn shame because of how good he is at what he does. But are the Cardinals better than we're giving them credit for? And what have you seen out of the Arizona Cardinals that makes you believe that maybe they can do this again?
Yeah, I think they are better, but also the Cowboys were without some studs. I mean, they were without Zach Martin. They were without Diggs, obviously, for the year. They were without their left tackle, Tyron Smith. But having said that, what happens in the NFL is the difference is very small between winning and losing teams every single week. And whenever you have a team like the Cardinals who has everything to fight for right now because they got a new coach, they're fighting for him, they're battling, they got a new offensive line for the most part. They got all new guys. They're playing really well. Dobbs is doing enough. Defensively, they're getting after it. You get some wins.
Dobbs put a video out in response to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, who we are big fans of, only had one sack. Only had one sack. You average that for the entire year, that's 17 sacks. Only had one sack, Micah did. He has a podcast. We love the way he chit-chats. Here's him talking about Josh Dobbs, and then Josh Dobbs, 7-year vet. People forget. Been around the NFL for a while now. Here's his response to Micah.
Josh Dobbs, I'm putting him on a bulletin board. I'm throwing darts at him.
There's darts. You see it? He's dodging the darts.
Oh. Go Cards.
Oh.
Wow.
Couldn't get him with a dart. You see that?
Cool. That was cool.
Yeah, I think he was throwing with both hands, too. There's no way he was able to reload the darts as quickly if he was just doing one hand. So I think him moving's quick. But let's talk about Josh Dobbs a little bit. He has been able to rally this crew. He got signed after training camp, right? I mean, after training camp, like 4 days before the season starts.
Got cold.
Now him, James Conner, Rondale Moore, and the boys are able to put up some points on that defense that some people, including myself, were saying this defense, best defense in the world at this exact moment. What has Josh Dobbs done, and why do you think it's taken this long for Josh Dobbs to potentially have this type of situation pop up?
A lot of times with quarterbacks, it's obviously about the situation they're put in. And right now, you don't know what to expect from that offense. You know they're going to come out, they're going to play hard, they're going to be physical, and that's what they were. Start with the O-line, with Connor and how he runs. And I talked to some of my boys that are on the Cowboys. I'm like, yo, it's kind of like y'all sleep at the wheel with these guys? Didn't expect this type of game? Like, nah, we knew they were going to come and try to punch us in the mouth. And now losing Diggs, it's a big deal on the back end because now you have moving parts. Now your nickel goes outside, a new nickel comes in, the communication is tough. They had some blown coverages. But honestly, you put on the tape, they just got out physical. And the thing about this Cardinals team, every week, they're physical. They're going to be it's either going to be equal or
He's
they're
looking
the
for
more
killers, dude.
Bingo.
When you turn that tape on, no BS. Like, they play hard. And like AQ said, it's a fine margin between winning and losing in the league. Brandon Cooks on offense with the Cowboys, I don't know if he's fully healthy, honestly. He didn't look like he was running full speed. CeeDee Lamb is a guy, but outside of that, Ferguson is not Dalton Schultz at that tight end position. So it's going to be interesting to see how Mike McCarthy is going to operate in games where they actually have to put up points.
I have faith that the Cowboys will be able to be good. Too much talent on that roster. And are they getting those guys back on the O-line or what?
Who knows?
Tyron Smith
in today's day, you never know.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What is that? What do you say?
I just don't know.
Talk about turf or grass?
I don't know because you saw Tyron Smith was dressed on the sideline, so I don't know what he's got going on. They hide injuries all the time within this injury report. They never tell you what's happening, so you
Is
don't
that
know
what you
what's
meant
going
with
on.
this day and age? Is that what you're hiding injuries?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
No,
That's not what it sounded like.
It sounded like he just meant offensive lineman walking and not playing.
Yeah.
That's
Is that what you're talking about? New age, new model.
Yeah.
Say it.
We kind of talked about it
it's
yesterday.
like we have talked about this. Listen, like at the end of the day, like you just
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know.
say it at the end.
You don't
Here we
know.
Let's get to it.
You
Yeah, I'm
don't
excited.
know who's going to play from week to week because you could have a setback on Thursday.
That's not.
That's not what you were saying, though.
This son of.
You were
Very
going to say something
diplomatic.
else.
I just
I
want
like
to let
it,
everybody
I
know
like it,
he
HQ.
was going to be old man in the front yard right there.
Yeah, say it.
Saying, well, because we talked about it yesterday a little bit with the data and the analytics, literally, how sometimes data could potentially hold somebody back because maybe that person needs extra work and you don't know that.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, what you were saying is that people are potentially picking and choosing
Soft.
on whether to play, and they're given more options on whether or not they'd like to play, as opposed to in the past, guys weren't given a lot of options. It's like, we're playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what we thought. We will see you Sunday. I can't really. Okay. Got a doctor right over here. Figure that one out, right? We'll see you Sunday. I can't walk, though. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
That's good. Don't have to walk today. Tomorrow, same thing. We'll see you Sunday. Nowadays, it's like, hey, we got to think about this long term, which I think we all appreciate.
Sure.
But it is certainly a much different standpoint or a viewpoint, especially for some positions considered like to be the super tough positions, which is offensive linemen. This modern information that we have about future devastation for bodies and brains and how long seasons are. And can you give up a game early? Does it really matter that much? Maybe we take a break for the long haul. I mean, that's a much different viewpoint than it was maybe like 5 years ago. Not even. Like maybe 4 years ago. We're in the middle of this transition phase. Is that what you meant, though, whenever you're saying
100%. That's 100%.
Well, that's not what you said. You said it could be set back on a Thursday.
Well,
so we knew you were lying about
Yeah,
it.
well, I think we all knew where I was going with that. But I mean,
Well, it's like
just like you
Bakhtiari.
said.
This Bakhtiari situation is like almost scary. This guy's had a knee injury for like 3 years now at this point, where sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. It's like, at what point do they start looking at his knee like, hey, this is a real worry? Like, we are very, very worried that your bones or your knee hasn't been able to recover like seemingly every other person that's been able to get this surgery. But every situation is obviously situational. But that's one that at some point somebody's got to be like, there might be a real issue here on your knee, pal.
Well, and also, like, you don't know how healthy it is, and I understand, like, getting G days and stuff like that, but, like, if you can't ever practice either, it's like, on one hand, like, you maybe understand why the team's like, hey, like, yeah, this guy's unbelievable when he's healthy and when he can go, but, like, if he can't practice all week, every single week, like, can we throw him out there on Sunday and assume that everything's going to be okay and he's going to do everything he has to do?
Let's be honest. I assume doctors now are a little more player friendly versus when a few years ago they were probably more team friendly. Like, hey, doc, he could go on Sunday, right? Yeah, he could go on Sunday.
Yeah, they always said that happened. I did not see. I would like to say I did not see that. I didn't have to deal with a lot of that, though. You know what I mean? I'm not in those situations. I'm not going to speak for anybody.
Team employees.
Yes.
Doctors are team employees. And that's the other part of it, too, because you got players who, the agents are probably telling them some things, too, which, that's, we talking heads into a mic at this point. But when you're a player, number one, you don't know exactly what's going on with each injury. And then from a business standpoint, do you go out there in the week 3 game and risk, maybe hurting something more, where maybe you may have another deal coming your way later. And that's a completely different story when you're 34, going into an offseason with an injury, and 34, going into an offseason relatively healthy. So at certain positions.
There's just so much that goes into all of it. But it does feel like the offensive line position was never the position that got involved in this type of stuff. And I'm not saying they're still in that, like any of the business decision-making stuff, but boy, it does feel like I saw a couple guys like get pulled for a couple plays to check on him and say, you good? And then put him back out there. It's like the offensive line position has never been treated that way.
Never.
I'm happy to see it, for you big guys.
Are you?
Yeah, taking care of you big guys.
Cool. Yeah.
Because back in the day, it used to be like, hey, fatso. Boom.
It was a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was. It was a rite of passage. The guys that came before you, it was like, there's no day-to-day. Like, if we're day-to-day, we are going. If we're week-to-week, we are going. There's no – you're not missing time unless you can't physically go.
That used to be, and by used to, I mean, like, not that long ago.
Yeah. I saw Logan Mankins play a whole season with a torn ACL.
Dog.
And was probably the best guard in the league that year.
Oh, yeah, he was.
You see offensive linemen on the ground too long? Like, if there is a solo shot on an offensive lineman after a play, he's going to get killed in the offensive line. That's what it used to be like, pretty much. That's literally what the conversation used to be. I appreciate that it has evolved, and they seemingly care about you guys, though. I just want to let you know that. From deep down in my soul, it did feel like the offensive line position was the only ones that were like, what's the data say? They're not running nearly as far as everybody else.
These guys are fine.
They're fine. They're fine.
Okay.
Unless they tell you they're not fine, they're fine. That was kind of how it was viewed. Yeah. Now it does seem to be a little bit different, but you lose a couple guys on the offensive line, whole different team.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Martin, one of them.
Completely different, especially when you were talking about Hall of Famers, right? Like, listen, at the end of the day, we've talked about this so many times. The difference between backups and starters is so big, especially when you look at the salaries of $20 million to $1 million, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, I think so. At all positions. Go ahead, Connor.
Oh, when you were, because you just said before, like you never had to deal with that stuff, but when you were, in the league and you hurt your knee that year and you still ended up, like, what was that interaction with on the trainer on a week-to-week basis when they know your knee?
Oh, yeah, so I just didn't get scanned.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just chose not to get it scanned.
I'm good.
They were trying to get me to get it scanned every
Smart.
single week, and I said, nah, I don't want to know, and I don't want you to know. Let's just go ahead and get through it.
Yeah.
But I also knew I was probably done. So
Okay.
that was
different.
That was quite a kind of a decision. It hurt like hell, though. I mean, I had a dislocated kneecap in my kicking leg the last 9 games of my final season. Made a Pro Bowl. So,
boom.
I couldn't walk. Life was miserable. GM hated me. It was cool. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. And now we do this for a living, which includes chit-chatting with a man from Ohio every single week about his projections on college football. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the General Bob Carpenter and his top 5 college football. General, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. This is my favorite part of every week, and Wednesday's kind of like the downtime, between football. It's the weekend if you're all in.
Yeah, concur. I completely agree because the previous week, too far behind us. You know what I mean? Because spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. They dip. And then the following week, that's on until tomorrow. And tomorrow only got one, really, and then a couple college ones, so it's not even there yet. Wednesday's the perfect day for you to drop into our lives, bring some juice, and make us smarter. General, let's dive into your top 5 college football programs here on this glorious September 27th.
All right, let's do it. We will start. And by the way, this is probably the last week there might not be a Pac-12 team in here.
Oh,
because, man, Washington and Oregon are coming strong, and I think they've surpassed USC. So we're going to start with my number 5 program, barely hanging in there, playing really good football. Little tough game this week, able to pull one out. But we're going to look, and we're going to start with the Florida State Seminoles and what they were able to do. They beat Clemson in overtime. It's a tough game. Obviously, have to grind that thing out. Clemson, pretty decent squad. So you know what? Pretty good. I like what we're doing here with Florida State. They've won. They obviously beat LSU, but they've had some issues. So we'll see how that goes.
Hold on. I have a question for you. Did the red bandana game scare the shit out of you? Because I think it scared a lot of people. But what needs to be known, that red bandana game's a tough place to play.
Oh, yeah. Biggest game of any sporting event for Boston College, you could argue.
So even the hockey, don't they got a hockey squad?
Yeah, they have a great hockey squad, but no singular game is bigger as far as hype as the Wells game.
For those that don't know, the red bandana signifies a Boston College.
Yeah, a student who played lacrosse who went into the towers to save people, and they couldn't find. Obviously, he passed away in the wreckage, but they found his red bandana, and he wore a red bandana throughout his entire life because he was a massive fan of firefighters. So in his local town, he used to go to the fire station, and the red bandana was his thing.
Yeah, and Wells is his name, I believe. Wells Crowther. He then was described by people in the tower that he was saving. They said, we don't know who he was, but he had a red bandana. Was this guy saving people? Kind of get chills even like thinking about it right now. Crazy. Superhuman. So the red bandana game, I believe, is a lot bigger than you're running into a buzzsaw no matter how the Boston College football team feels.
Yeah, that's their national championship. Every year, no matter what.
But it did scare me, too, because of how talented Florida State was this year. And it's like, but then you just got to be reminded, red bandana game feels like there's a universe thing happening up there in Boston College as well. But you're right, Coach. I had similar thoughts about this Florida State team.
It was tough. I mean, they beat Clemson. The red bandana game does scare me a little bit. So they're sliding a little. We'll see how the Pac-12 continues to play if they can jump in here. Number 4, going to go with the usual suspects. We've got Texas. They beat up on Baylor pretty good. They're feeling good coming out of that. So I like where Texas is at right now. Quinn Ewers seems to really be hitting his stride. They got a big one coming up, though, this week against Kansas. Kansas surprisingly 4-0, and they've given Texas some trouble. Last year, Texas took care of them pretty good, but the last 2 years prior to that, tough games. So Quinn Ewers is going to have to play big.
Hey, everybody in the college football world that I talk to, and whenever 2019, when I got into College Game Day a little bit there, we went down to Baylor. Matt Rule was the coach. It was a completely different situation down there. Coach Aranda's there. Everybody that's in college football is like, hey, this Baylor team's going to come on. This Baylor team's going to come on. They have not at all.
No, they lost week 1 to Texas State, and they also lost Blake Shapen, their quarterback, I believe, in week 1 as well. And they have been terrible this year.
They believe in him, though. A lot of college football people believe in that coach. Do you believe in Sark? I believe in Sark, I think, this year.
I like Sark. When he beat Saban, I mean, that was huge for me because that was him going in there, beating in Alabama, on the road, winning a huge game, a game that everybody expected to be tough. You know what? They threw the football well. He had them schemed up, and they dominated in that second half, especially up front. So I really love that. I love what Sark's doing, man. I knew he was a good coordinator, Pat. I did not know that he would be that good of a head coach, and he's starting to prove to everybody that, you know what, this might be his final resting stop and make a dynasty here at Texas. So I absolutely love it. At 3, you talked about it last week, man. Greg Schiano, maybe not great in the NFL, but, dude, in college, he can get those guys coached up. He can get them fired up. I have Michigan sitting there, and they ended up pulling away late. But Rutgers had the lead, and it was 14-7 at halftime. So I've got Michigan there, but Greg Schiano, Pat, giving the Wolverines all they could handle early on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I didn't like it. You know, I picked Rutgers on game day, and as soon as it came out of my mouth, and then I saw the graphic, I was like, what did I do? What am I doing? I was getting a little bit too confident, you know, because I was just saying stuff. I was just saying, BYU, they're going to beat Arkansas. Florida's got Tennessee, no problem at all. I was like, I was starting to just be like, check. Yeah, here we go.
That was a heat check.
And then as soon as Rutgers came out of my mouth, and then it was like a 24
and a half
point spread. Jim Harbaugh's return game. Oh, buddy, I hated it as soon as I said it. But Michigan did what they had to do. You know, it was close, obviously, early. I think Harbaugh back, a little bit of jitters from the team, probably. A little bit of angst. How's this thing going to go? First game operation still. You know, who's talking to who, who's doing what. And Harbaugh dropped a ball in warmups.
Whoa, I did not.
He had gloves on, the whole thing. He's back in it. We're back for the first time this year. Ball hits him in hands, hits ground. It was hard not to just kind of put all those together and be like, here we go.
Okay.
They beat the shit out of Rutgers.
Yes, they did.
But congrats to Rutgers hanging tough early, though, Coach. You're 100% right.
Well, I mean, you called it. It was close. They just didn't have enough gas in Rutgers' offense. They're not much to write home about. This Georgia offense getting rolling a little bit, though. They are coming in at number 2 for me. Pat, I like what Carson Beck's done, threw for over 300 yards. He's in a really good spot right now. They played UAB. It was 28-14 at half, but they end up stretching it, pulling away. They've got Auburn next week. I know Auburn isn't maybe the best team in the SEC, but their schedule's getting a little tougher because I think Florida is going to be better what people think. Kentucky is undefeated still, and we'll have to see if Tennessee can ultimately rebound. So Georgia's still sitting there in that 2-hole for me.
How do you feel about Kirby Smart? Have you heard much of him talking in the locker room? I love him.
Oh,
so
he's
sweet.
I love him.
Phenomenal.
I'm not like just like AQ and every other human we've ever, Darius and every other human we've ever talked to that played in the NFL, except for maybe like 2-3 guys. I'm not a huge like rah-rah guy. I get uncomfortable whenever the rah-rah speeches are happening. But when Kirby talks to his team, feels like it's genuine.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It feels like it's, all right, we're going to get 6 possessions this next half. We're going to score on 4 of them. All right, we're going to score on 4 of them. Defense, they're only going to score 1 time, and that's it. And then they do the math. It's like, had 7 possessions, scored on 3 of them. Defense gave up 0 points in the second half. It's like his relationship with his team seems to be genuine, and they're always going to be stacked. It was just a question mark about the quarterback. He went for how much? You said 300 this past week?
Oh, yeah. He went for, well over 300, like 338. He had a nice day. 3 touchdowns.
Damn. Georgia's back.
All the way.
I haven't talked
They're
about it
playing
at all
Mm-mm.
because they just kill everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, here we go. They are a buzzsaw, always will be. Like Kirby Smart. Well, who's at number 1? Who's at number 1 then? Oregon.
Coach, you've been taking a lot of heat. And you know what? Finally, a worthy adversary, 7:30 up in South Bend. You were up there. It's got to be the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh!
Wow. They've got the proof, man. You've seen it done. You watched them go put together that final drive. And, Pat, you play with some great quarterbacks. You play with some guys not so great. So if when you get the ball with 85 seconds and have to go 65 yards and you airmail your first 2 swing passes and it's 3rd and 10 on a hostile environment, prime time NBC, I give Kyle McCord credit. He stared down the barrel of defeat. He did not blink. And, man, he banged some of the best balls you were going to find on that Saturday night on that final drive, dude. It was a thing of beauty for a first-year starter going against Sam Hartman, who had started 50 stinking games. For a guy who had 4 career starts under his belt, I was very, very impressed.
Yeah, it was the hello, I'm a guy game for Kyle McCord. I think we all saw it. He had like a 4th down conversion that he picked up. He was, and you said staring down the barrel of defeat. He also took some shots and some pressure. He was moving. And then he talked his shit afterwards, which I appreciated. And speaking of talking their shit afterwards, Coach, is Ryan Day okay? Is Ryan Day okay at number 1 over there on the General's top 5? Is he okay?
Listen, Ryan's good. I'm going to tell you why Ryan was so fired up. All right. And I love Lou Holtz. I have an immense respect for Lou Holtz. I'm not I'm going to bash him because I love the guy. He's a hell of a football coach. Here's why it's personal to Ryan Day and probably Ohio State guys, because he's such a good head coach. He was phenomenal. Does a great job. He's always been very complimentary of Ohio State. Lou Holtz grew up in East Liverpool, Ohio. He coached on the 1968 Ohio State National Championship team. So when you have someone that's a part of the program, a part of the fabric of the state, and they say something like a toughness comment, I think that was it. Like it stings a little more, Pat, because it's from someone that's close to you. So you can have a lot of people talk a lot of things, but when it comes from someone that's close, I think that's the part that kind of seared Ryan the most. And that's what got him fired up.
Do you think he only read the quote from Lou Holtz and didn't see that it was a Lou Holtz impersonator talking to actual Lou Holtz in front of a Notre Dame crowd? Or how do you think that whole thing unfolded over there?
I don't think he probably sat down and watched it. He probably heard it and maybe saw some of the stuff pop up. So I get it. And it was a comedy. It was a great bit. It was
actual journalism.
It was comedy.
It was actual journalism.
It was a bit.
It was real journalism.
Anybody that can sit there with an impersonator of them in a chair, like I have an immense respect for, because that's hard, man. Like when you're diving into your deepest insecurities, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. But like Stephen A. Smith, Lou Holtz, guys that get impersonated, Gruden, like that's a tough deal. So I give him an immense amount of credit for being able to sit there at 84 years old, joking about having Alzheimer's and not being smart growing up. So it's not that big of a deal now. Like, it was a great deal.
I appreciate it as well. You're 100% right. And we had no idea, how it would go at the beginning, because Ty's been doing this impersonation for his whole life on this particular program the last couple years. And then Lou Holtz's foundation started like following us and saying, and we're like very thankful that they took it positively, but you never know until he's sitting there. And he did make one comment. He said, if my lisp is as bad as yours. Right? You know what he said?
Yeah. Sure. I sure hope my lisp is as bad as yours is, but
and then went right into an answer. Yeah, it was phenomenal. I appreciate, though, that Ryan Day utilized that to motivate the boys. And now all eyes are on Michigan, right? They better blow out everybody to keep number 1 in your poll. Because what if Oregon, with what Oregon was able to do in Colorado? What about any of these? Washington, you brought up
USC.
Penix, USC. I mean, there's a lot of teams that can still go on a run. Is Ohio State, what do they have to do over the next few weeks before Michigan to continue to earn that number 1 spot?
They got number one. They got to beat Penn State, Pat. Penn State's sitting there at 6th or 7th in the AP. I mean, they're right on the outside. They just destroyed Iowa. Now, Iowa has zero offense.
Yeah, absolutely
they obliterated them in Happy Valley.
Damn, Ty.
All right, do we have any teams that we want to chit-chat about?
I got two teams for you. I already kind of alluded to the first, and it's going to be the Bruce Dickinson cock of the walk. He was the manager, the producer for Blue Oyster Cult, Will Ferrell back in the day, SNL. And so if you're going to be the cock of the walk, there's only one way you're going. You're going to go with the Kansas Jayhawks, getting a big victory over BYU, getting to 4-0, Coach. They're actually talking about football in October in Lawrence, Kansas. That hasn't happened in a while. They got Texas coming up, and now they're ranked 24th in the nation. This is going to be a nice game. Lance Leipold's done a great job there. Jalen Daniels has done a fantastic job. So I'm excited. I don't think they can beat Texas, but I think they can keep that thing close.
Well,
that's number one.
The cock of the walk there, incredible. I appreciate your creativity. Way to explore the space here. You know what I mean?
Really.
You got dick and cock on the screen right now. I mean, you did. You did.
Explore the space, Pat.
Hey, good for you. Way to go.
General.
Way to go. But Kansas, this is the second time back-to-back years where they've gone 4-0. Haven't done that since 1913 or something like that. Kansas. So, this is obviously huge time. What Leipold's been able to do over there, fantastic. We were there for game day last year. They're building facilities. I mean, they're expecting this team to be good, and they are electrifying to watch on the offensive side. And the uniforms are sick.
Clean.
They got sick uniforms, which is always good.
You're telling me Mark Mangino never won 4-0 with that Kansas
squad?
Oh,
come on.
I think this is
won
back
an
to
Orange
back.
Bowl. He did win an Orange Bowl.
It's back-to-back 4-0 starts.
Yeah.
So I assume he won 4-0, and then the next year 3-1.
That makes sense.
4-0, and then 3-1.
Got canned for being mean to his players and taking poops in the bathroom.
Yeah, the shower poops.
Yeah.
The shower poops got him.
That's because he only wanted to watch more film. He said, you know how you can make pooping faster is you don't stand or sit down. You just kind of just go waddle into the shower.
Exactly.
Drop trial.
It's called multitasking, guys. If you're not taking dumps in the shower, you're not busy enough. So keep that in mind. All right?
Smart.
Talk about a shower, get a little shave. You also take a crap in there, man. It's checking all the boxes. You're ready to go for the day.
He got fired somehow.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
What are you talking about?
One more tartar.
He was life hacking before people were life hacking.
Yeah, you're right.
He had all the time.
Had that whistle too. So trying to let people know, hey, I'm a coach and I'm doing it. All right. Any other? So we got the Bruce Dickinson cock of the walk. It's Kansas. Who else do we have, Coach?
I've got my guy Omar from The Wire. When you come at the king, you better not miss.
Well,
best.
And we've been putting Nick Saban, Pat, we dug a hole for Nick Saban, a nice little grave. We'd walked him over, and you put on that visor just like Lane Kiffin, and Nick put his arm around you, and then he hip-tossed you down into the grave and started filling the dirt on you. This was supposed to be Alabama was done. We were ready to put them down and say, Saban is over. Look at this, 2 losses before the middle of the season. Lane, his former protege, is going to come in and just stab him, finish him off like Caesar. No way, Coach. All of a sudden, Jalen Milroe finds a way to play football. They look great in the second half. They pull away. I'm left here scratching my head saying, this was your chance, Lane. Like, you were supposed to go in there and be the one. You were the chosen one who was supposed to be the guy. Sark got him, and then you finish him off. And Nick Saban said, no way, sir. You dug your own grave and threw him down in there.
Yeah, I appreciate that it was pretty commanding victory as well. Good for Milroe.
Yeah.
We're all happy for Milroe. Happy for Coach Saban, who we'll be talking to tomorrow. We'll certainly let him know how you feel about him. That'll lift his spirits a bit. So we had 2 gimmicks and a top 5. I think this might have been your best week yet, Bob.
Hey, I'm going to try to keep coming strong. I've been training really hard, Pat. I've been exercising my mind. I'm going to keep coming strong for you, big guy.
Have you still been working out with the Ohio State football team, or does that not happen during football season?
Well, I go in there, I work out alongside of them so I can feel better about myself, especially when they come in and they're all beat up after playing Notre Dame. The guys are sore. I'll tell you, Pat, if you ever go into a locker room post-game day and you got your kneecap hanging on the side like that, like, you feel better about yourself and think, you know what? I don't even know how I did this for all those years.
Yeah, but you're how old?
I'm 40, man.
You look good. And you're working out with these guys still?
I try. I do my best. I give them all that I have, which I don't know how much that is anymore.
You're a movie character, bro. You're out of a movie, and we appreciate the hell out of the fact that we get a couple scenes each week.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the General, Bob Carpenter.
Hey, General!
He's working out with the team.
It's insane.
He runs sprints with them in the summer.
Yep.
Think about it. Like, hey, is it morning run group or afternoon run group? He's showing up at him on time. The coaching staff is like, hey, come on. Need you.
Don't be
They're
late.
counting them down. I mean, this is still happening at the age of 40. Have you ever heard of this in your entire life?
No. I
Never.
did that one time, and I was 23. Did that one time with the college. I'm good.
Yeah, we made it through. I survived this, and he's still signing up for it. Penn State, probably pretty easy conditioning, cardio stuff in the offseason.
Man, it was hard.
Could you imagine doing that as a 40-year-old?
Did
Are
Joe
you
Paul
40?
run it?
I'm 37, but yeah, I mean, no, I couldn't imagine doing that at 23, like D-Butt said. There was no way I was going back and doing a college program.
The General's
Zero.
signing up for it.
It's crazy.
On his birthday, he ran, 40 sprints sideline to
40
sideline.
half
Yeah, he ran their
passes or-
conditioning test on his birthday just to make sure I could still do it at 40 or whatever. He's like a part of that team. You know, when they beat Notre Dame on the last play, he's like, we've been getting after it.
Yeah.
That's what we've been training for.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable. Him having Ohio State at 1, we knew was going to be the case going in. But now that they got that Notre Dame dub, I mean, they're going to be in there.
Yeah.
The Penn State game, though, look, this is his birthday, 40. Look at this. You talk about cock of the walk, peacocking around there. Look at that dude's back. Wait till you see a strength coach will come in with a clock. Look at that. He's a 40-year-old man. Got a guy with a stopwatch.
3,
2, 1.
go.
It's all about to get off.
I think this is the last gasser, too, he said.
All about to get off. Once you touch
6,
Yeah, it's that first 50. You got to get the first 50.
Yeah.
10,
Now we stride.
Push off. There we go.
13, 14, 15, 16. Close, Bob. Close. The strength coach. For those that don't know, college workouts are the worst.
Yep.
They are the absolute. I left soccer to go kick footballs because I was like, I would rather take 3 steps and kick a ball than run 7 miles and kick a ball.
Sure.
Then I just got baptized into college football workouts. Like, as soon as I made the decision to leave the soccer world to go to the football, worst experience of my life. I've never, and by that I mean it was good for me ultimately in the end, and I appreciated it all happening, but the running was nonstop. It was more than I'd ever done in soccer. Than you add in the weights. It was like, yeah, we're trying to make you puke in here, and then we're trying to make you puke out there. And if you can't handle it, quit. Just go. You don't have to be here. That's just how it's going to be. And Bob's still signing up for it. It makes no sense.
It's crazy. That's literally, but college, to your point, like winter workouts, the summer workout, like that's where you like become a man. That's like where your mental fortitude is tested. Like that's where, all right, do I want this? You know what I mean? And then when you become an upperclassman, now you got to set the tone for the younger guys. Those college workouts, man, they are built to break you. Sometimes the coaches back when we were in college, they would just keep going until everybody couldn't just finish. Like, oh, yeah, we're in great shape. Like, nah, somebody had to fold for you.
Oh, we're adding some 40s to this at least. Yeah, you see how everybody feels good, huh?
Easy for them.
Not a single person even thought about touching their knees. Yep, let's add 10 40s. All right, we'll see where they're at the end of that. That's really what it was. When you walk out there and you see the clear things, it's like, okay.
It's going to be a day.
Out there for a reason.
Yeah, I can never run in the morning group. I always chose the heat in the summer because I need to know what we're running.
Nah, I got to go first group. You can't know. I got to go in the first group. We got to go, and then I'll tell you if you ask me. Didn't you guys have like a crazy strength and conditioning guy?
Yeah, the hardest strength coach in the history of strength coaches was the first time I ever lifted or worked out in my life. Mike Barr, shout out, bud. Appreciate you, dude. He had a movie or a show about him. Like, hey, this is the most demanding strength coach on earth. Here's a show. But he's gotten people that had paralysis to get back walking again. Like, he's still doing it. Much different. He's not doing the college football stuff anymore, which I think he's probably pretty pumped up about. Now he's making, like, real impact on, like, getting people back walking and doing that. Still training NHL guys, MLB guys, everything like that. He has taught me so much that I will carry forever about just, like, not quitting. Like,
same with me. Shout out Jerry Martin. Love you, Jerry. Miss you, Jerry.
Yeah, love you, Barwis. Miss you, Barwis. Happy I don't have to do your shit anymore, Barwis. Really happy about that.
When you guys were upperclassmen, is that what you look for?
Dude's a psycho right there. You see that face when you walk in, pretty hungover. I mean, I used to, have a pretty good time. That's pretty well documented. But you got like 6 a.m. workouts. You walk in there and you just see him waiting on you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Today we're doing it today. It's like, oh no. I think I got a flu. No, you don't, bitch. Get on it. All right, here we go. Oh, you want a drink, huh? Before one of my workouts? Oh, okay. Oh, McAfee's having a fun time. It's like, well, I think a fun time's over now. All of a sudden, zero fun coach. All right, 1, 2, 3 team. Let's go do this. And then Rich Rod would be on his stepper in the back, just making sure everybody's intensity. That was my baptism into college football. I was like, well, I think I should have chose the 7 Mile thing. Kicking soccer balls would have been fantastic. But General's still doing it. We appreciate him. No surprises there, I don't think. No surprises there. I think Pac-12 does deserve a lot more respect, though. I think there's going to be a conversation Saturday. I'm not 100% sure. I assume it'll come up about the Pac-12 versus the Big 12 versus Big 10 versus the SEC. Pac-12 at the top, but then you start thinking Georgia. You got to remember, how many votes does Georgia hold just as a team? Because they have obviously gone back-to-back looking for a third, which is absurd. I think Minnesota did it in like the 40s, 30s.
Yeah.
I think was the last time somebody won 3 straight.
Wow.
So, I mean, what they're doing is who knows what. But that Pac-12 is special, dude. How do they not get a TV deal done?
I mean, the conference is gone, right? I mean,
Well, it's
basically-
Pac-2.
Should have sent you in
It's
there.
over now.
You'd have got it done.
I think I would have actually. Nope. I don't know those worlds, to be honest with you. But, it is content, negotiate, get a deal done.
Yeah, football.
And, football content.
4 guys in a Heisman conversation.
5 if you really, Travis Hunter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's, if you talk about that whole thing. And then they have 4 teams in the top 10, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like Pac-12 is all of a sudden the Conference of Champions again, which is what Aaron Rodgers called it yesterday the entire time. And it's the last one. It's a damn shame.
Crazy.
We need to enjoy it, continue to enjoy it, but there was some real balls bobbled coming out of the backcourt there for that not to continue to go ahead. Let's talk about some news around the NFL. Kyle Van Noy has signed with the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, Kyle.
Kyle Van Noy obviously was on our show, guest host just last week, I do believe. We put him in pads just to make sure he still got it. He does. We released a video yesterday after this news was broke by Josina Anderson. The Ravens are signing linebacker Kyle Van Noy. He's expected to go to the practice squad first per source. Hey, Q, we only got about a minute before we got to get out of here. But your first question is, why are these vets all doing practice squad? It does feel like a new normal thing for vets to kind of maybe go prove themselves and then sign to a deal. This didn't happen in the past before.
No, listen, your film did the talking, and these guys are 9, 10-year vets. They have shown that they can play. There's no reason you're signing them if you didn't think they could play, couldn't play. So here we are, and everybody's doing this practice squad deal. The only thing I can think of is just to make sure you're in shape. I think that's the only thing, but I mean, there's no other reason to do that.
The practice squad was mentioned by Colin Kaepernick in his letter to Joe Douglas, actually shortly after Aaron Rodgers' injury that has been made public by J. Cole.
Oh.
Cole World.
Yep.
Left hand up.
The
Great
artist.
lyricist. No, J. Cole was not a part of Left Hand Up or the Commanders. This guy lives down in Carolina.
Oh, have some respect.
Yeah. What is your...
That was Wale.
Tremaine.
On me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's not Wale.
Wale.
Now, Wale was not a part of that either.
Yeah.
Both lyricists, you both scumbags, though, okay? Neither of them had Left Hand Up. We are the Commanders.
Was a banger, though.
Hey,
Still is.
haven't heard it, though. I don't know what that's all about.
They're making a new one, actually. It's in the works. They released a teaser video for it last week.
Anyways, Colin Kaepernick said, sign me to the practice squad.
Yeah.
I'm 100% cool with that. Interesting. The letter was interesting.
Yeah.
And it took over, obviously, because it's Kaepernick. We'll chat a little bit about that and more on the other side with AJ Hawk. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 3.
He's saying don't go off the top. It's too shallow.
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up. They start shaking it. They go, whoa. Hey, what things are going good, Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis. Hey. Yeah, boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of boomer Sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. It's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able to. What sign am I going to make for college game day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. 19. Right now? Okay, let's do it. We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go! A lot higher than I thought.
You look like Ric Flair.
It was like 5 feet. I was standing there.
That's full commitment, by the way.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, what? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Winter Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. Hour 2 of this program starts right now. Football is happening tomorrow and a couple days ago. Today, we're just chit-chatting about all things football. The Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Sweet shirt, Con, man.
Is it a good one? This is the one I was actually saying to the boys earlier. This is the one I like the least, but actually fits the best I learned this morning.
Like the least?
Why do you like it?
Because it's not just the animal. There's a lot of different stuff going on. Like the eagle is driving a motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, and wearing a leather jacket, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, it is sick, dude.
No, yeah, it is cool. But once again,
on a day where we run an outkick clip, you're gonna say you hate America, pretty much.
That is not what
I'm saying. What a pig.
That is not what I'm saying.
One half of the hammer down. That's what you said. You're gonna watch. You're going to watch the clip back, and you're going to realize that is what you said.
I said there's too much stuff on the shirt. That's not wrong.
Too much stuff? What is it? American bald eagle?
This is the
American flag?
With a
sorry.
With a motorcycle?
Wow.
Yeah.
Motorcycle. 2 motorcycles. Yeah. One half of the hammer. Down. Cowboys turn. Diggs is here. 9-year NFL vet Darius Butler is here. 12-year player coach Super Bowl champion AQ Shipley is here. And joining us now live from Nattican, Ohio, is a man who's the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. A man who is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a father of 10, and a COVID survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, I don't know if you got to see it. Lou Holtz responded to Ryan Day. He didn't back down from his comments, obviously, but he did say that Ryan Day's trying to not talk about going 0-2 to Michigan all of a sudden. He's got Penn State coming up, the whole storyline. Lou Holtz thinks that Ryan Day is dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodging his way around talking about the real matters, and he's focused on an 86-year-old. What have you heard from Ohioans about how Ryan Day has handled this entire thing?
I think people in Ohio, they're completely fine with it. They love to see like some fire, some passion from their coach. And there's clips of Ryan Day on the sideline at different games last year when he's super juiced and he's fired up, especially in the Georgia game. Unfortunately, they didn't win that one, but there's times on the sideline when he was so jacked. I see people posting pictures. Oh, we want this Ryan Day back. We want to see this guy all the time. So hey, maybe just give the people what they want.
Yeah, I appreciate a little bit of fire, a little bit of energy, a little tenacity, a little football. Because he's not from Ohio, right? He's from New England area.
New Hampshire,
Yeah, I thought he was a New Hampshire live for your die guy.
So him coming in and saying, like, hey, Ohio versus the world, I think Ohioans appreciate that. We had the general on earlier. He had Ohio State at number 1. I don't know if you saw the Bill Dickinson Caulk to walk, Kansas Jayhawks. And
Bruce, I did. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Talking about multitasking as a coach. The Bruce Dickinson situation, yes, I love. Yeah, like I told you, Bobby's very creative. It's awesome that he gets to explore the space, as you said.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that he is, taking liberty. I don't know any of these things that are coming.
Nope.
So that needs to be known.
Never do.
Should I? Maybe. You know what I mean? Depending upon where it goes, we'll kind of see. I've given him a lot of freedom.
A lot of slack.
A lot of freedom to kind of do his own thing. Hey, General, here's the deal. Need a top 5 every Wednesday, okay? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just kind of do your thing. Oh, Coach, thanks. I told him, hey, I'm going to pay you this amount of money. Too much, Coach. Too much. So he's like so incredibly pumped to do it. I appreciate him. He's a special one. But I do believe Ohio State is on the – I think they're going playoffs. Definitely. Now, granted – they got a big Penn State meeting coming up soon, and then Michigan. And what if they don't win this year? Ryan Day going to be fired? As soon as he loses the game, is he going to be fired? Is that just how it is over there in Ohio State?
No, I mean, the sky does fall when Ohio State does lose. People tend to have somewhat irrational responses, but I mean that's the standard around here. So no, he's not going to get fired if he loses the game.
Okay, well we'll see. I mean they'll be calling for it, but I want to talk about an Ohio State guy, and this is a good pivot because we haven't chatted about it. And for the fact that we're bringing it up, I do apologize. We're going to talk about Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. So Hembo sent me some interesting stats.
Oh, I love that.
QBR is scaled 0 to 100, okay?
Yep.
Justin Fields' QBR in the pocket was 1.5.
Oh,
what?
Or the season.
1.5. I think just this past week or whatever.
Okay.
The Bears have allowed 25 plus in 13 straight games. That's tied for the longest streak in NFL history. Justin Fields has never had a 300-yard passing game in the NFL. Then he started adding in all the other stuff. There's a lot of negativity coming out of Chicago and Justin Fields' era. Justin Fields, though, talked about it, and this is what Justin Fields had to say. And honestly, there's a long season left, so I appreciate this narrative from Justin Fields.
I mean, I'm looking at it like the big picture, just life in general, to be honest with you. And I think this past week has had me kind of look at it like, what are the important things in life? Because, when things are going good, you feel me, like, not say whatever, but, I think these past couple of weeks have made me appreciate, the little things in life, like being able to play this game. So, every opportunity I get to go out there and play, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to play my hardest and, just thank God for giving me the ability to play. So, no matter what the scoreboard is, I want to keep them the same mindset and just keep pushing and keep moving forward.
I mean, shout out to Jesus Christ, but also anytime you're getting to the point where you're saying, I'm alive.
Yeah.
That's good.
Like I could be dead. I've been paid a lot of money. I'm not broke. Got a house.
Yeah.
Playing sports.
I've been appreciating the little things,
Yeah, he's like, in the grand scheme of life, these are not like real life problems. These are football issues we're having, yes, but.
Anytime you're doing that, though, after week 3, buddy.
You don't want to hear the damn quarterback going into week 4, and I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but I mean, that's tough. You start talking about the grand scheme of things and the
That's week 15.
You should
That's week 16.
That's off season. That's off season. Football
but even if worse, like terrible things happen, everybody gets hurt somehow, you guys lose a couple games, and it's like you lose your playoff contention, even though you had it early. It's like, to the fans, like in the grand scheme of thing, right? We're all alive. Like that's a message. To kind of, week 4. Week 4.
Yikes.
I'm worried. I am genuinely concerned about the Chicago Bears. How they turn that around, they can't. It seems like there's no shot at this thing, and we need to bet against them every single week, seemingly.
Big.
I mean, that's crazy to hear because we've all been in these locker rooms. AJ, all of us, Darius, Pat, right? You guys as fans, like during football season, football is everything. Like you show up at that building, you put everything into that. And then when you sit there and like kind of nonchalantly be like, well, again, I'm probably blowing this a little bit out of proportion, but still, like when you hear that as a teammate, you're like,
Damn. We couldn't give this guy better talking points. Hey, we couldn't tell this guy that maybe the offense just hasn't clicked yet this season for some reason. Maybe he and Getsy aren't on the same page. He likes what Getsy's vision is. Instead, we got him saying, I'm 6 feet up, not 6 feet down. You know, like it's early. It is early for that, AJ. But if you start looking around the situation out there, it's hard to find the silver lining, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you start thinking about, obviously, everything that happened with Alan Williams last week and that entire thing. So Eberflus now calling plays. And they get $100,000 worth of equipment stolen from them the day after. Some thief was like, oh, they're paying attention to what's going on with DC, right? They're probably looking at the front door. We need to go in the back door. $100,000 worth of shit. What could they have taken? I don't even know what that could be, but I'm excited that somebody tried it. Zito just told me John Deere tractors.
Wow.
$100,000
I get it.
worth of John Deere
That could be
tractors.
one tractor.
Stolen from that place. So they're practicing on the field what it used to look like at Soldier Field way back in the day with the grass high. How do you expect them to win? But honestly, there's nothing positive coming out of there. AJ, that's a damn shame for a team that had hopes this offseason. Here we are week 4 thinking about the sun came up, right?
Yeah.
The sun.
Yeah. Nice yesterday.
The sun did come
wasn't
up.
raining.
That's good. I got this red light thing I can shove in my
That's
face
funny.
for 10 to 15 minutes or whatever, AJ. That's not good. I feel bad for these Bears fans, bro.
Imagine being a player on the team. Like, do the majority of the players feel like, okay, I don't know, like we got to find a way to get a win, but I'm not sure how that's going to happen. Like, I wonder how the players' mindset is.
Are we checking on Justin? Does anybody? Don't we have a special? This guy's talking about the sun came up.
Yeah,
it's
not good.
I mean, this ain't.
That's the other part of it, though. Like, where else does, if you're looking at it from Justin's standpoint, where else is all the questions and all the spotlight come to in a multi-billion-dollar operation? We're looking at, 22, 23-year-old, like, in the middle of it.
Bingo.
And it's like, damn, play caller, he can't really get me going. The offense is not clicking. We got all this other shit going on in the building. It's not like Chicago is a small city or a small media market, even though they stink.
It's
like,
the biggest.
Everybody's going to talk about them. That's tough.
They're clearly the third largest. Yeah, but it's only one team there.
Bingo.
All the other markets have 2 of them. So New York, L.A., Chicago, top 3 population. New York, multiple teams, 3 of them, I guess, if you count the Buffalo Bills shout out. And then L.A., obviously, multiple teams and a lot of people that moved in there. Chicago, only the Bears, and they are diehard up there.
Yep.
Blue-collar city, football city, love football. Just been cursed by the gods of football for one reason or another. Maybe it was that shuffle, huh? You guys had too much fun back there. Too much fun with the whole shuffle. You guys have used enough football energy for the next 55 years. And to prove that, we're going to have everything terrible happen to you. I would believe that if that was the case, if we ever get a chance to chat with the football gods.
Yeah, there's 4 0-3 teams. They all play each other this week. The Bears welcome in the Denver Broncos, and the Bears are 3.5 points.
Hell yeah.
That's a banger.
Justin also said just a couple minutes ago that the Lions started off 1-6 last year and they made the playoffs.
Oh, nice.
There's optimistic there.
Yeah, but he didn't say. What I heard was food tasted real good.
Yeah.
He is good at
They
walking.
put like extra salt on the eggs this week.
Lunch was
He
great.
has been good this year at saying one thing and the next day saying a different thing that makes it feel better.
Buddy, good luck to the Bears.
Big
Yeah,
two-sided
season's
guy.
over. Season's over. Fields just said it. It was a good run. It was a great 3 weeks. It was fun.
I'm starting to appreciate the little things, like when his dog poops outside.
Yeah.
Wait until it's
It's
25.
like those are the
every
little
day.
things.
They just opened a new Giordano's by my apartment.
Hey, Fields, it's just football. You know it. I mean, you're already talking about it.
Yeah.
It's just football, baby.
Just a game.
Get to.
Well,
Get to.
Get to.
That's the thing, though, is like if the sky's falling right now, if they go out and lose the poop bowl and lose by 4 touchdowns against the Broncos, like, oh boy, the sky's really going to be falling next week.
We would like to say that the way Getsy and the boys used Justin Fields when they were down 40 points at the end of that game is what we think they should potentially think about doing a little bit earlier.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, get him maybe run a little bit because the guy is elite with the ball in his hands.
We did outscore the Chiefs in the fourth quarter, by the way.
Hell
Just keep that out there,
Hell
guys.
yeah.
There it is.
What have you done for us
So
lately?
many positives.
Still more than the champs. You tell us.
Finished
Taylor was
strong.
there. She saw. Ask her. Joining us now is a man who is no stranger to the public eye because he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going into the Houston Texans Ring of Honor Hall of Fame thing.
Nice.
He's
Unbelievable.
only the 3rd person ever going in.
Wow.
Really?
Only the 3rd ever.
That's wild.
And obviously, it has been earned and deserved. A guy who joins us every week to break down what he has seen around the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Watt.
Hey guys, I'm excited to be here. Chicago hot dogs are great. There's another positive.
Hell yeah.
Chicago style dog, just phenomenal.
Hey, Bud, going into week 4, already talking about the little things, like the sun came. That's not good, JJ.
That's not a good sign. Where does that rank? Players only meeting or talking about the little things?
I think players only meeting normally comes first, right? Yeah. Players only meeting normally comes first. The little things is the end. You know what I mean? That is we are trying to.
We are just appreciating anything at this point.
So this morning, the showers had more water pressure than ever before. It was amazing. It was so good.
Have you ever, being around the league, have either of you guys ever heard the thing or experienced the thing where the water won't get hot after like a loss or after a string of a few losses? Like I've been on teams where the showers got cold and they don't get hot, and you're like, wait a second here.
Was this on purpose? Was that in Arizona or was that in Houston?
No, I'm not going to say anything.
You said where you were. I mean, there's only 2 options. Yeah, there was a chance.
I was just going to say, after about 4 or 5 losses,
I don't even get hot water.
Get comfortable with a cold shower, bud.
We know where it was at.
What is this, Gary Brecka? We got the Wim Hof method going on. Only cold showers maybe get us a little bit better.
It might have led to a fight, maybe.
Oh, argument. Yes. Yeah. Hey, we brought this up earlier. Now that you're shooting a documentary, clearly, wherever the hell you are right now, looks awesome. Looks awesome.
I'm in my house. My house is being renovated, so this is just an empty room.
So they put those lights up not as a movie set. That's like actual. That's what they're being used as.
No, those are going. Those are on their way out. That's from the previous regime.
Oh, we'll take them.
Yeah, please.
Those are sweet.
Are they like what do they look like on camera? I mean, do they look like a movie set?
Yeah, it looks like you're kind of doing like a documentary where they're trying to put like a boom mic over top of you.
Yeah, no, we are sure. Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
What's it going to be called? Is it just Whites?
Why?
Whites? About the Whites?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, that's clever.
There you go. Don't know what it's going to be about. It's going to be like Seinfeld. Show about nothing, just following me around doing stupid shit.
Okay, sounds like it's going to be a great show. I can't wait to watch it. Let's talk about something that'll be in your documentary, and you don't have to answer it. You're smart enough not to answer it if you don't want to, and bygones can be bygones, and you moved on. Did you and Bill O'Brien fight each other? Do you remember that was?
Yeah.
That was we talked about this earlier. Because we talked about college coaches that end up in the NFL and then do college, and how a lot of college guys have not had success in the NFL. And Bill O'Brien's name was on the list, so we just started chit-chatting about his Houston stay, where he was head coach, GM, lead counsel, hydration specialist. I think he had every job in the entire building at one point. And then there was a massive blow up that the reports were you took his face and punched right through it. Was that real? Was there any of that was real? And how much of that were you keeping track of towards the end of Billy O'Brien's run with the Texans?
Yeah, no, we never got into a physical altercation. No, there's no secret at all. We had a few scuffles, arguments here and there, but that's what coaches and players do. I mean, I talk to Bill all the time. I talked to him literally last week. We have a lot of respect for each other, and as a player, when you're going through the ups and downs, you're gonna have those types of situations. We've seen it with him, with Brady on the sidelines. He's a very, very fiery guy, and that you almost have to be in sports. And so we definitely had some spirited debates at times, but no, it never came to a physical altercation between me and Bill. There are some things that we agreed on and some things we disagreed on, and I had no problem voicing that, and he had no problem voicing it. But we're still we're good friends to this day. We're going to get some beer together at some point and just enjoy a conversation.
Hey, he's a good football coach, it feels like. The Houston thing, obviously interesting. You would know better than anybody behind the scenes on what's all taking place. But him going back to New England here with Mac Jones has been a huge thing. And I like the fact that everybody just knows, Bill O'Brien. You hear that? O'Brien, the Irish, he does run a little bit hot, but I think that has made him the great coach that he is too in certain situations like this particular one back up in New England.
Yeah, Bill's an extremely hard worker. I mean, he'll be the first one in the building, the last one to leave. He's working his ass off. I honestly think that part of the thing that made things go a little bit astray was how many different hats he ended up putting on in Houston. As a coach, he's a good coach. There's no doubt. I just think once you start stacking all those responsibilities on top of each other, it's just a shitload to handle, man. It's a lot to do and a lot of knowledge you have to have and a lot of hours you have to put in. And it's very tough to handle and juggle all those things at the same time. Yeah, well, I'm happy we put that to bed because I thought for sure you know what I mean? I thought there was a couple, you know what I mean? No. But Shit, that would be interesting.
It would have been cool. You do because you're a hockey player too.
Yeah.
What if you actually put gloves on and grabbed a hockey stick and then said, "Hey, Bill, you know this," and then gloves.
Where does the line get drawn? So, like in practice, players can fight, obviously, no problem. Not assault. It's literally football practice. Player goes after a coach. That does seem to get a little more like,
assault.
All right, are we in like assault territory? Like, where does the line get drawn? What's acceptable?
Because if the coach does anything to player, probably getting right.
Yeah, I feel like that's bad.
So player probably can't.
AJ, would you fight a coach? Where do we land here?
Man, I mean, you may want to fight a coach, but there may be some charges pressed either way. I mean, the coach might want to press some charges on you, especially if you put those big old meat claws on somebody.
Yeah, you're talking about your meat claws you got up there, pig
You'd
paws.
be paying a lot of money.
Yeah, imagine you just busted Bill O'Brien's face. You'd be paying lawsuits for the next. Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be incredible.
Well, this year in New England, I know Bill O'Brien. I don't know if they did it in Houston or not, but they drew the line like a step after a cup check. So if you were to smack someone in the nuts, that's kind of the line right there, right this year.
Hey, let's talk about that. Have you ever played against Mac Jones? And have you seen all of the different clips of Mac Jones? And you think that's something that defense are saying whenever they're playing against Mac Jones? Hey, JJ, if you get to Mac Jones, let's remember he did slap somebody in the nuts last time we played. Is that a conversation that's taking place in reality?
I think you definitely know the history. I think that it's definitely discussed the history. I don't think that you do anything extra or different. But I do think that as evidence mounts and you start to stack more things on top of more things, it becomes not just a one-off. It's a habit. And it is interesting. And as the conversation grows and grows, the strange thing is once something's called out, generally that kind of ends it. But it's been called out multiple times, and it obviously hasn't slowed down. So it's
he just gets. I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to hit him in the ball. You know what I mean? They've already caught.
It's right there.
It's right there. What am I supposed to do? How is that? Boom. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Had to do it. Keep it moving. It's interesting. That's coming the narrative about him. And I think people in New England, as long as he's playing good football, it's like, sue him. Oh, sorry.
Bingo.
He's a dirty player.
Yeah, he's our dirty player.
I think we've seen that. I think we've seen that in the league in general. Like, if you can play good football, man, they are going to they're going to let you play good football. I mean, it's pretty. They're not a nut tap is the least of the worries, you know.
How about the log roll, death grip, gator roll? That used to happen. I think you defensive people used to do that a little bit more often than it's happening now.
Oh, I mean, that's just a tackle.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
That's just a tackle. It's only weird when an offensive guy does it when the guy doesn't even have the ball.
Oh, yeah, you're right. When on the ground, the offensive lineman normally.
He didn't even have the ball, and he was hog tying his ankle.
Yeah, you're disgusting.
I did it all the time.
Yeah, you're a dirty player, AQ. Yeah. That's what offensive linemen are. Go ahead, AJ.
I'm okay with that.
Let's pivot away from this conversation, shall we? Because we don't need everybody thinking Mac Jones is just this big scumbag.
Well, no.
Because it seems like he's going to be able to do that himself for a long time.
Exactly. Plus, he can also spin the football. So if he goes out there and throws 35 touchdowns, then go tap anybody's sack you want.
That's how New England Patriots fans feel.
Bingo.
And I think Bill O'Brien's got the best out of him in between ball taps.
1,000%. Yeah, I think he talked.
Bill's doing a good job.
I think so, too.
Bill's doing a good job.
Go ahead, AJ.
JJ, we're seeing some early season arguments on the sidelines between coaches and players. Players seem to be frustrated on some of these teams when they're losing games, maybe not getting the touches they feel they deserve. Are we does the media, I guess, make this thing a bigger deal than it is, or is this kind of a common thing that happens?
I think it's common. I do think that it's a little bit situation by situation. You kind of have to try and do a little investigative journalism into it to see each one, because there's always going to be times where guys, upset about touches or upset. I mean, I've been mad literally at the end of a game before where we're winning and they're like, all right, starters out. And you're like, no, I want to go get a sack. And you like have an argument with a coach. And that's just like a silly, joking little argument. But it's when you get into the territory of challenging the hierarchy of a coaching staff and the hierarchy of a team and kind of, taking away from authority. And I think that there should be healthy debates, there should be healthy conversations, but when it stretches into questioning the abilities of somebody above you, and especially if it's a veteran guy and now the young guys are seeing, oh, he doesn't even think this coach is capable of doing his job, then it kind of is a detriment to the whole team.
Yeah, then it can kind of fester and kind of move. And it feels like over in Pittsburgh, that type of stuff would never happen, right? Tomlin's in charge, then everybody else kind of falls in line. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers a little bit, obviously, because your brother is a stallion. He's having the greatest year in the history of defense. So here's his stats through this season thus far. 2 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 6 sacks, 11 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 12 QB hits, and then obviously one of those fumbles has been returned for a touchdown. He's the only player in NFL history to record 6 sacks and a defensive TD through the first 3 games of the season. He's also the only player to have 6 sacks, 12 QB hits through 3 games. Unprecedented start by the former Defensive Player of the Year. And I know we have a couple of his plays from this past weekend that I definitely want to show you. But before we get to that, why do you think this year he's playing at this alien-like level that he's at that the NFL has actually never seen before, JJ?
He's crazy, man. He's constantly improving. He's healthy. He's very healthy, and he's had a great offseason, so that's a huge part of it. But he's constantly growing and trying to improve. He was already an incredible player, but he wants to learn. He wants to grow. He wants to get better. He's like, during the week, he has this hunger. Like he doesn't want to talk about anything else. He doesn't even want to talk about, he just wants to talk ball. He just wants to talk about the offensive tackle he's facing, the offense he's seeing this week. It's just, he's solely focused on success, and it's a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, he's seemingly having a pretty good start. Because even when he's not getting sacks, he's causing pressures, which are causing interceptions. It's like every single play he's taking over. Never takes a play off. Obviously, he's a wide. But what do you see from some of these plays that are maybe different than what he did in the past? Or is it the same? It's just getting highlighted a little bit more. Here's a sack that he had, obviously, against the Raiders.
I think this first play is a perfect example because I actually asked him about this because I saw this on TV and it's a play action. So they're faking the run. So normally you're going to bite on this run fake, but TJ doesn't bite on it at all. He goes right past the tackle. He's going straight for the quarterback and it's an immediate sack. Now, if you watch, he points to the sideline right away. So as soon as I saw this on TV, I said, there was something that he knew about this play action that he was never going to bite on the run fake. He was going for the sack. So I asked him about it. I said, dude, you got to tell me, man, what was the point about? What did you know? What was your key? And he said, last year on this exact same play, I bit on the run fake. And I told Coach Tomlin during the week, I'm not going to bite on that run fake this time. So he got the sack and he pointed straight to Tomlin and he was like, I told you. I wasn't gonna
That
bite
is
on it."
awesome.
So,
That's a beautiful thing. That's like when AJ actually flipped off a coach on a sack because of something that was said earlier in the week. That is a nice little moment that you recognized happening, but I think anybody in the NFL recognizes when a point happens immediately afterwards, it's either a thank you or a I told you. It's one or the other, right, JJ?
Yeah, no, it's only one of 2 things, and in this case, it was a good one.
All right, and now here's another sack from the kid in the middle of the field, obviously.
Yeah, this one he just blows right by him, and this one I attribute to the Steelers fans. So the Raiders had to go on a silent count at home because Steelers fans were so crazy. So you see the center, AQ can talk about this. You see the center look between his legs and then lift his head up. As soon as that head comes up, the ball's being snapped. TJ knows that, so he flies off the ball, and he's already past the offensive lineman before he even has a chance to get out of his stance. And then, thank gosh, Jimmy's okay because, this looks crazy. He just gets bent back. My buddy from back home, my high school friend, texted me. He goes, every ligament in my entire legs would have snapped off the bone if this was me.
Hey, thank God it was grass.
That's right. Yep.
Thank God it was grass out there. And also, TJ let him go. Great. You know what I mean? He did, which is very nice of him, even though it looked incredibly uncomfortable there. It could have been worse at the end. AQ, how come this center isn't switching that up, especially whenever they have to go on a silent count because the Steelers fans are so loud?
Well, just like JJ said, that's exactly right. So once the head comes up, that's when these tackles are trying to time the snap. That's when you get the 1/1000th of a second frame showing every offensive lineman jumping offside.
Do we have a Lane Johnson video, please, from the other evening?
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know it. We haven't even chatted about
Oh,
perfect segue.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, I love this because this is literally what has been chatted about since week 1 about the offensive linemen. And the linemen love it, and the defensive people hate it. And then the fans watching are like, that's pretty much offsides there. Watch Lane. Gone.
Perfect. So bang, bang.
Perfect.
Perfect time.
Bang, bang.
What's that?
That is bang, bang. That's literally in real time going.
You
that
think it's
fast.
just because his leg is so big? We
Probably.
see it?
But here's the deal. This is what they teach the tackles. And with the silent count, as JJ knows, I'm sure he had his little tips to try and jump the count just like we have ours. But as the center comes up, they tell that tackle, because here's the deal. If he's trying to block JJ on the edge, if he's trying to block TJ, if he's trying to block Nick Bosa, these guys can't be looking in at the ball, then on the snap, see the ball snap, get back out. They're going to be late every time. So they tell these guys, hey, look, when the head comes up, when it starts to move up, get your eyes back out and go. And if it's a half a second early, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but look at this. Look at this. I'm putting it in slow motion. It's easy to see.
Yeah, everybody in air conditioning with a clicker has all the answers.
But you know who cares now? Jawan Taylor. He's gotten flagged every single week since week 1 because he's kind of got the eye put on him.
Yeah.
You got to love Andy sticking up for him, though. You saw that, right? Like,
No.
hey, listen, Andy
Yeah.
did something like this in his press or whatever. I think he was on maybe a podcast or whatever, and he was like, if they're going to look at him and treat him like that, they better be treating every offensive lineman like that.
Which hopefully they will for the sake of the sport.
Amen.
In the league, we're worried about the shield and the integrity of it all. I mean, we just got the biggest, most athletic guys out on the field jumping a half a second early. That's called cheating.
He was overcooking a little bit, and everybody was watching first game of the year. Everybody's talking about it. So he got to wait for 58 minutes to the last play.
Abuse leads to restrictions. That's kind of what happens.
That's right.
It feels like
It might cost him his job. I mean, he's gotten benched because of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, they were blowing the team out. Like, would they have benched him if they weren't playing the stinky ass?
They did it the
Bears?
week before. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't notice that the week before. I did not. I apologize.
Gave him some money though. He got a good deal.
Hey, Speaking of that game, did you see Taylor Swift was at that game?
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Taylor Swift, the one you're talking about. Yes, there's not another one. This is not a ref.
She was at an NFL game?
Yeah, Kansas City, more specifically, that one, the Kansas City Chiefs game.
I didn't hear anything about this.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about this.
It's because you're all
What
bald.
happened?
Well,
what happened?
She pounded the glass.
Yeah.
She pounded the glass. She chest bumped. She did the whole thing.
Oh.
She gave a high five to a mom.
Do you think she left in the popcorn machine or not? Was she in the popcorn machine on her way out or not?
I think she came in with not the popcorn machine, but that cooler with the popcorn on top. Yep. I think she definitely came in that for sure.
Yeah, I think so. As a Swiftie, I've been to the concert, no big deal, phenomenal. But if she apparently leaves her concert in a cleaning cart with brooms coming out of the top, it's very, very similar to the popcorn machine with the popcorn on the top. So I think she was in there.
And as somebody who's had the incredible opportunity to work in WWE, and meet some other show people that do stuff. Very classic move.
Oh, yeah.
In and out, you know what I mean? How you doing? Nobody's going to expect it. Taylor's obviously had it. She's a bazillionaire. So they move a little different. You saw that security. They had
barriers, barricades. Like,
Secret Service
that was
outside.
That was like rifles. Like they had real security. That wasn't TSA pre-check there.
And that's all because right now we are witnessing the biggest power couple on earth.
By far.
And the NFL's right in the middle of it, JJ. It's good for the NFL.
Right in the middle.
It's good for
NFL's excited. NFL's excited. Can't get her to do the Super Bowl, but they got something maybe better. I don't know.
Hey, Taylor, we were wondering if you wanted to do a show for free for us. We know you could sell out the stadium as many times as you wanted, but just for us, do it for free. How about it?
Will you spend $7 million of your own money to build a set and do us a show for free, please?
Your streaming numbers will get. We don't.
You'll become famous. You'll become so famous.
You'll be able to go on a tour around the world.
Everywhere.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Do it for free?
Jeez.
I don't know. It's going to be tough to get Taylor for about 30, 40 years, I think.
Yeah.
You know what? I listened to Travis talk about it this morning on the New Heights podcast. I think he still feels like they've been talking for a bit.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Feels like they've been talking for a little bit, And
I hope
was
so.
like they've been trying. The rumors have gotten public, and I've you probably know this because you're a famous person and your wife's a professional athlete, also famous, and your relationship was talked about in the tabloids and stuff like that. But from what I've been told from some people that have had that happen in their life, normally like 2 to 3 months behind.
Yep.
Normally like 2 to 3 months behind. And it's either over or it is happening. Feels like this might be one of those situations. Not from actual information. This is just from listening to Travis talk about it on the New Heights podcast this morning.
And watch her reactions during the game, too. Like, you watch her watch the game. It's not like, hey, I'm just here to have a good time. Like, she was emotionally invested in not just the Chiefs doing well, but Kelsey as well.
Shoot pumped when he scored a touchdown,
yeah.
AJ. Shoot pumped. That felt like genuine emotion over there. That's not just like, hey, we just met each other.
No.
I mean, if you're sitting next to the mom in the suite and you're doing all that right away, you've either been talking for a while or you are just going all in week one. I mean, you are. That is an absurd move in week one if you just started talking 2 weeks ago.
Hey, but if that is the case, I'm happy for both of them.
They're in love.
Oh, I mean, like the way that she was cheering and going crazy when he came out of the tunnel and when he scored a touchdown, it was like he just got home from war. Like, I mean, they would be been together for a while, or it's just all in right away, man. I don't know.
Hey, and we all appreciate when the significant other or friend is that supportive. Hell yeah, D Swift.
Yeah, keep it going.
Hell yeah, welcome to football. I don't know if you've seen the accounts now. There's Swiftie accounts now that are explaining football to the Swifties. Because they're buying the jerseys. They bought the Travis Kelce jersey. We're Chiefs fans now.
Yeah.
All right, what is this sport? It's good for football. Like,
have you seen the flip of that? Have you seen the one where the Taylor fans are trying to explain like astrology to NFL fans, where they're look, their moons line up. Like,
yeah.
The birth
JJ,
chart.
you need to learn a little bit about it, maybe. Maybe you need to start taking care of your moon a little bit better. Yes, it's Gracie. Since Travis Kelce's birth time is not known yet, we will find out. Here's Taylor Swift's birth chart with Kelsey's planets on the outer wheel. His Libra sun in Mars boosts her 11th house of friendships and community. His Scorpio Venus conjunct her Scorpio Mars means electricity for them both. His moon and her sun are hilarious, and their connection feels like best friends meets lovers. We've been saying this since the beginning.
Yeah.
They're meant for each other.
And that's a 10th of that tweet.
I feel like I just looked at Brandon Staley's analytics chart.
Pretty good.
All right, let's talk about the Chargers since we are here. Obviously, he says that he wants his team to know that he believes in them. And he wants his defense to know that he believes in them. And he's been like this since the beginning, making these interesting decisions that the stat community has come out and said, this is our God. This is our God. That he's been supported heavily by some people on the internet and other parts of the community. When you're playing defense for a guy like that, who's going for it when you're up one score in the fourth quarter in your own end, what is the thoughts? And how do you feel about the way he goes about making his decisions?
So normally, I loved getting back on the field. And I was like, even if like an interception or something, you love it. You want to get back on the field. You're like, yes, let's go. We'll go out there and we'll make a play. So I do respect that aspect.
Hey, is that real or is that just is that a real answer right there, what you just said?
What, that I want to get on the field?
Yeah, it sounds like a movie. That sounds like it's out of a movie. You need to know that, though. That sounds like it's out of a movie. Like, interception happens, like, I'm happy to get back on the field. You know what I mean? Like, that's how every coach would want every single player to have that mindset. Like, legit, you need to know that. I think that's just how you naturally think. But, like, that's how humans want, yes, that is like a movie-like reaction.
There are times on third down where you're almost hoping they aren't getting it. Because you're like, just get me on the field, man. Just let me get on the damn field.
I like that. Let me break my nose out. Let me do my entire thing. Okay, 6. So,
but anyways, then there's also times where you're like, maybe just let him handle it. Like, maybe just punt it and we'll just do the normal thing. And I think that's one of those situations where you might have been like, let's just do the normal thing. Let's just do the normal thing here. We had one, we were playing this. It's the worst comeback game I've ever been a part of. We were down 24, or we were up 24-0 on the Chiefs in the playoffs. 24-0 in the second quarter. And we try to fake punt on our own 25-yard line, which, again, appreciate that there's faith in the defense if they don't get it, and they didn't get it. And we lost 51-30. So that one doesn't always work out.
Yeah, but if it did, what a play.
If it did.
What a play.
Man, Genius.
Go ahead, AJ.
JJ, why can't we accurately predict anything of what's going to happen in the NFL? Like the Cowboys get beat by the Cardinals last week. There's all kind of crazy stuff where you think, oh, this looks like on paper almost a guarantee, and then something happens and a team wins that you thought had no chance. Like, why is that?
Yeah, no, I think that's such a good point, and I think that's why the NFL is the best league in the world. It's so much fun to watch. And the reason is because every single player is the peak of athleticism. I mean, even like that's why it's so frustrating when people say like, oh, the best college team like Georgia or Alabama against the worst NFL team. No, every single NFL team on any given week can win a game. And that's because the athletes are so good and the level of play is so high. And these guys, I mean, the Cardinals, if you watch all three of their games this season, they are playing unbelievably hard. They are flying around the field. They are making plays. And they literally could be 3-0. They lost. They were up 28-7 in the third quarter on the Giants, and the Giants had a huge comeback. They had a chance to beat the Commanders in Week 1. So, like, the Cardinals are not a bad football team. If you watch these guys play, John Gannon has them playing hard. Everybody wanted to make fun of him in the offseason for fire in the gut, for the pew, 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 shot. They wanted to make fun of that. But here he is. He's got these guys playing balls to the wall.
The fire in the gut thing, wasn't it? It was the... Is somebody drive here?
Who took the
raise
bus?
your hand. Who took
It was an abrupt transition.
Who took a bus?
Abrupt.
Who took a bus? Nobody.
Fire in the gut.
We're in the damn NFL. What are we talking? And then I'm looking for killers, man.
Yeah.
Straight kill. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. It was hard as an outsider to watch that and be like, okay, this guy's ridiculous. But then now you're watching that team, and Darius said it earlier. Hey, they hit. They are not scared to be a very physical team. And Shannon Sharp, whenever I talked with First Take yesterday, he was like, if you go back and look, Mac, anybody that's physical with the Dallas Cowboys beats the Dallas Cowboys. Then you start thinking about like the Niners. You start thinking about a lot of these teams that are super physical, almost like what Lou Holtz said about Ryan Day in the Ohio State team. It feels like that's potentially the Dallas Cowboys MO. But the Cardinals will win a lot of games with that.
Yep.
Like that's December football, November football. That is the type of stuff that gets going. To pivot away from the Cardinals, AQ has a question for you, JJ.
JJ, Myles Garrett's having a monster start to the season, just like your brother, obviously, in the AFC North. But when you see him walking around and doing all the different things, playing basketball, doing everything that he's doing, and switching all the different spots, first of all, did you ever do that? And second of all, what is it that he's doing that's making him have such a great start?
Yeah, no, I never did a crossover or Euro step pre-snap. That's next level. I didn't have that quality. But I did move around a ton because, as you saw in the game against Tennessee, when he moves, the protection moves. Yeah. And you know this better than anybody, AQ. Sometimes a team will mic point the guy. They'll say Mike 95, and they'll slide the line to him. Sometimes they assign two guys to him, like here. So you try and mix it up and do this. It's hilarious to watch. This is probably the best example of it I've ever seen, just because of how clear and obvious it is that they're just taking these two and they don't even have a responsibility on the play. They're just, you two, go block that guy wherever he goes. And I have done this exact thing, moving from side to side and watching the protection move. Ben Jones is one of my favorite teammates ever, and he plays for the Titans. And when we would play against them, when he was in Tennessee, they would slide the protection to me wherever I was. So I'd try and mess around with him, and he would switch the protection, and we would go back and forth. I never got a delay a game out of it like this, but man, it's just the ultimate sign of respect for a defensive player when you know they're going to do literally anything to stop you.
All right, let's look at his sack here at the end of the second quarter on 3rd and 10. He's
just a grown man sack.
And your brother's still beating him in sacks somehow this year. But yes, he is a grown-ass man. Little dip, rip, drive here. Is that what we're talking about, JJ?
Yeah, this is just a pure old-school rip. He's gonna go dip his shoulder right into the offensive lineman's chest and say, I am stronger than you. I'm going to drive through you. Feel free. Jump on my back if you want. I'll take you with me to the quarterback. And that's his other sacks in the game look similar. He has his rip, and he just rips straight through. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing special. It's nothing that you're going to see on a ton of teach tapes. It's literally just an old-school rip, and he's stronger, and he's going to bend that corner. And the guy, I mean, there's no denying. He's one of the best in the game. He's an incredible player.
Hey, so that's fourth quarter. It's one-on-one here, right? Is this one-on-one?
3rd and 12, you're trying to get those receivers out. And then that last one, too, was a 2-minute where the back kind of chipped and got out to and that first one, when the two guys moving, that's great for the the secondary, because now we only got to cover 3 guys in the passing concept as opposed to 5 that usually eligible. So shout out to Miles.
Yeah, shout out to Miles helping that whole defense. What's the defensive stats they got? AQ, you said something about this Browns defense. This is the best defense in the game right now?
I think they're doing an amazing job. Schwartz is doing an incredible job getting those guys playing. But this is the first time, like, they've had edge guys, right? Like, they've had Clowney and Garrett. But this is the first time where they got interior guys making a difference as well.
Go ahead.
Only
4. AQ. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, JJ.
No, I want to ask. So 94 yards of total offense. That is, I mean, if you're holding the goal for a defense is to hold to under 100, 105 yards rushing. Mm-hmm. To hold a team to 94 yards total of offense. AQ, what is an offensive meeting like on Monday after you only had 94 yards of offense?
Those are the ones where you try and go catch the coach early. Like, hey, let's go have a conversation with him early. Coach, what'd you think? And get that ass ripping early before, so hopefully it softens it in front of the whole group. That's
group's getting it at 94 because obviously we're looking for a hundo, 150 on both ends there, rushing and passing. And what did we do last? Did we even practice?
Yeah.
Did we get 94 yards not practicing last week? Probably. I mean, there's a chance you could find that. But this Browns defense, you had a stat, I think.
So Schwartz defense, man. So third down conversions, 19.5%, first in the league. 163 yards a game, first in the league. Opponents, 10.7 points a game, first in the league. Yards per play, 3, first in the league. Only 4 snaps in the red zone so far.
Damn.
1 offensive TD allowed through 3 games. So Schwartz got these dudes flying around.
Hey, JJ, that's different because nowadays everybody's going cover 2, we'll let you get yards, and then you get in the red zone, then we're going to tighten it up, you're going to kick a field goal. Instead, Schwartz is like, nah, red zone, whole field. No, we're like, that's old school. That's like an old school mentality.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I hadn't heard that 4 snaps total in the red zone. That's insane. But the thing that Schwartz does so good is he knows he's got dogs up front, and he's just going to let them eat. He's going to have those cover guys cover, but he's going to let those dogs up front eat. And, man, is it a beautiful thing to watch those guys just get after the passer. It'll be crazy to see if they can keep these steps up because it truly is impressive what they've done through 3 weeks.
That Chubb injury is.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I mean, allegedly it was better than what they could have imagined with what we all thought. He will be able to return, which is 2 devastating, disgusting knee injuries to Chubb, and he'll be able to return hopefully. But, like, that team with that defense, if your run game, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Run and defense is an easy way. Let's run the ball, let's kill the clock, and then let's get off the field on defense. That's an easy way to win games. You're not going to win like 40 or 70 points, but that's a different style, a different strategy. They had it, seemingly. And if Deshaun, you know Deshaun, football player really well, obviously, from his time in Houston, he's seemingly getting better each week. We're kind of watching it in real time. Do you agree?
Yeah, it seems to be he's getting more comfortable in that offense, and they're being able to do what they want to do. Obviously, the Steelers seem to stifle him a little bit. I mean, think about that division. You got the Steelers, you got the Browns playing incredibly well, you got the Ravens, and you got the Bengals, who maybe starting to figure it out here.
What are the Ravens do?
What a division.
They can't throw.
What are the Ravens do?
I don't know.
The Colts.
Did they play Sunday?
Oh, they lost to the Colts. Did you hear that?
Minshew mania.
Running wild.
Back.
I think he's going to be in every single game. I don't know if Anthony Richardson's going to be able to finish a game.
Yeah.
That's just a fact of life. I think that's what it is. I was so excited for this guy. 6'4", 250. We got a guy, runs 4 threes, 4 fours. He can throw the ball 100 yards. And then both games he's played, 3 touchdowns, 2 games. Okay? Success story.
Yeah.
Both of them tapping. He's out. Knee injury first one, concussion second one. It's like, is this going to be every single game? Thank God we got Minshew Mania coming in there. And let's not talk about just us in the AFC South. Hey, huh? What?
Hey,
what was that?
huh?
What's going on down there? What is it? CJ Stroud
How
might be a
about
guy.
them?
He might.
How about them Houston Texans? CJ Stroud looking good. I mean, he's poised. The first thing, honestly, besides the football that I noticed about CJ is he's taken a lot of hits in these first 3 games. And he's been missing. Last week, 2 weeks ago, he was missing 4 of his starters on the O-line. This past week, he was missing 3. Many people in that situation could go up to the podium and just say, we're just kind of waiting to get our guys back. It'll be really nice once we have our starting O-line back. CJ's taken all sorts of hits, taken all sorts of pressure, and every single time, all he does is stand at that podium and say, I love my guys. I want to lift my guys up. I want to support my guys. I love those guys. And I think that told me all I needed to know about him from a leader and a person perspective. And then you go out there and you watch him play ball. Doesn't have an interception. He's calm. He's poised. He's leading that team. Jacksonville, everybody says Jacksonville's going to dominate this division, win this division easily. CJ stands in the pocket right here. He's got pressure on him coming around the edge, and he just delivers a beautiful ball to Tank Dell. Touchdown. I mean, between Collins and Dell, they've got some receivers, CJ in the pocket. I mean, be careful now. Houston's brewing a little something.
Look at this score.
Yeah.
27-17 before that touchdown right there. The Houston Texans? The 2 picks in the top 4.
Yeah. What?
The Houston Texans are only. D'Amico seems to know what he's doing. AJ, what do you got, pal?
When you're playing rookie quarterbacks, we always hear JJ's defensive coordinators, they're going to mix things up, get pressure on them. But what do you really do? Like, what's your mindset when you were playing a rookie or, say, like a very inexperienced quarterback?
It's definitely you want to pressure him, you want to heat him up. And that's what's so fascinating about CJ is people have done that, and it's actually been successful in heating him up. But he just remains calm. He remains poised, and he delivers the ball. There's a lot of funny little tactics that coaches will say. They'll be like, even if you don't get there for the hit, as you're walking past him on the way back to the huddle, tap him. Just let him know you're there. Like, just give him just body contact, lets him know you're there. And that's one of those that I've always kind of been like, that's bullshit. Like, that, I don't know if that's a real thing. Like, a quarterback, like, they literally, like, touch his arm. Just touch his arm on the way back. I'm like, I feel a little weird doing that. It's almost like a nut tap. You know?
Oh, a little dirty.
Dirty.
Hey, last question here for you from Darius.
Hey, JJ, going into the Ring of Honor here in Houston, man, I just want to know, I know it's probably a lot of them, but what's your best moment, if one stands out, being a Houston Texan?
Oh, I appreciate that very much. I would say my favorite moment was my rookie year. I mean, Houston had never been to the playoffs before, had never won a playoff game. The state loves football. Everybody in Houston loves football. And so to be able to go to the playoffs for the first time and then to be able to have a pick six and then a sack in the playoffs to help us win our first ever playoff game, that was such a special game for me and a special memory for me. I'll never forget it. And it kind of helped springboard everything else in the rest of my career. So that's on the field. And then off the field, obviously going through such a massively unfortunate situation with Hurricane Harvey, but seeing the resilience and seeing the way that that city came together and the way that the people all came together to help make it right. I'll never, ever forget that. And I love the city of Houston, and it'll be my family for the rest of my life. And I can't wait to get back there this weekend and enjoy a weekend with them.
Hell yeah. Well earned. Third person going into the Texans Ring of Honor. Can't wait to see the celebration. Speaking of the celebration, TJ, Steelers are coming to town. What's that? Oh, buddy.
The hell's that about?
Ring of Honor games for the Colts is like, homecoming games. People we think we're going to get. TJ, I mean, are they going to play Turn Down for... is he going to do the full?
Should.
Is he going to do the whole song and dance? You think if he gets a big time play out there?
It's TJ. He's been great about it because he's been there for all my games in my career. He was young enough to where he was watching my games. He was attending the games. So he has so many memories in that stadium, and he has a lot of great memories. But it is fascinating. We were talking last night, and he was like, what are you going to do? Like, who do you want to win this one? And like, it's blood. It's so hard because, I mean, I obviously love Houston. I love the Texans. I love everything TJ's blood. So it's a fascinating little dilemma down there.
It is. It's weird that this was the game that it was picked. Like, I appreciate that it is. But if they turn down for what and he's sacking coming off, if he has a JJ game, that means like offensive touchdown. That means a fumble recovery.
Oh, he's not capable. He can't do all that. He's only certain players are capable of, both sides of the ball.
You, Vrabel, Dion, obviously, the fridge.
Yeah.
The
fridge. I feel like Leon Lett, or was that just because he fumbled on the goal line? For some reason, I have a memory of Leon Lett playing fullback, but maybe that's just the fumble.
All right, anyways, TJ not athletic enough to steal JJ Watt's day. Okay, that's what I just learned. We appreciate you so much, brother. Have an incredible week.
Love you guys, man. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
How's Burnley? We stink or we good?
No, we won in the Carabao Cup yesterday, 4-0, good win. We play Newcastle on Saturday morning. Newcastle won 8-0 on Saturday, so we're looking to not We're going to flip that. So
Yeah,
big game, Newcastle.
Pack it in, Burnley.
Yeah.
Pack it in.
Park that.
Watch out for those Magpies, JJ. That's a good squad.
Oh, is that Newcastle?
Oh, yeah.
You know the
we got a Magpie fan over here?
No, Liverpool. You'll never walk alone.
All right, we got you coming up a little later. We got you in December, so you and I will have a little push-up bet on that.
Oh, I like that. Speaking of, don't you owe me push-ups?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Not now. All right, yeah, big legs. Jesus.
Jeez, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, a lot of thighs there. How many we got?
2. I don't know.
This is how the show ends. We'll see you tomorrow, ESPN.
Later. Have a good day, guys.
Yesterday, the way it ended on ESPN, Aaron said, fuck. And then it was like a 4-second thing. And it was like, all right, we'll see you tomorrow. And Aaron says goodbye. The ESPN people watching just on the network have to be so flustered. I just saw JJ's thighs, and then
a lot of pasty white thigh there, man. A lot of pasty white thigh.
Hey, you're still getting after it, though. We appreciate that. We're still live on YouTube right now. You still working out every day because you're going to play for the Steelers later this season? Can you play in the NFL if you're already in one team's Ring of Honor? I mean, there's a lot of questions.
What if I just suited up and like, you know how they introduce you for the Ring of Honor? What if I just came out in a full uniform?
Yeah. Oh, you got to do it.
Not to do anything, not to play. I just came out in a full uniform. Like, fucking this guy.
This one I'm like every day.
I wake up.
Can they still find a helmet? You know what I mean?
Ooh, all right. Doubt it.
It's a large head, figuratively and.
Got to have the arm brace, too.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have.
Was that a knee brace you put on your arm, I assume?
Yes, it was. And I just finally got rid of it my last season because I tried to get rid of it 3 times in my career.
Do this! Do this! Oh, my God. Was this against us? This probably was.
Oh, man. Oh, if it was, that means TY probably had 250.
That was quite a recurring tale there.
That is unbelievable. TY is how was he as a teammate? He always seemed like such a good dude, like quiet, and just dominated all the time.
Loved TY. Everybody loved TY. Yeah, he'll probably come back this season when there's like 4 or 5 games left.
Small dude, but tough, strong. Never, you always saw him cold, tough, out, taking care of himself. Quiet leader, got down, got that ball, got down, and when you gave him a chance, he was going to take the top off that defense.
Yeah, you said get down. That was a big part of it. Like, I think at the beginning of his career, when he was like avoiding hits, Colts fans like, "Whoa, come on, be a tough guy," and then he was just like there every single week, and it's like this guy knows how not to get hit, knows how to get open, and he used to go get it too. Like he used to get like deep balls up in traffic somehow. Hell of a player. I appreciate you shouting out TY. I think he will as well.
Oh, dude. I love watching TY. I hated playing against him, but I swear, every single time that there would be a deep ball thrown, I would just turn around and no shit, TY's got a post about 50 yards down the field, wide open, just walking in the end zone and just stand there.
There's a lot of these against Houston, He got the nickname the Ghost against Houston because he would just disappear behind. He was always seemingly wide open.
Yeah.
I think he went for like 2
wide open.
Ah, it's awesome. You're the man. Enjoy your weekend. You've earned it. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Watt. He didn't fight Bill O'Brien.
No.
So he says.
A couple of days before going into the Houston Texans Ring of Honor, what if he did say, I did punch him right in the fucking mouth?
You're welcome.
His fucking nose.
Yeah, that's how I ended my Houston Texans regime. People want to know why I haven't been back in a long time? Well, I made Bill O'Brien look like this. Okay, everybody talks about me. That was what Bill's face was whenever I got done with him. But I do appreciate that Bill O'Brien is just kind of understood. Like, fiery guy.
Yep.
You can shit talk him. He's going to fire right back. That's who he is. And no shit, he's gotten Mac Jones to play great, right? You are firmly in the comp of Mac Jones is all the way back.
Yeah, absolutely. Firmly in the camp that Mac Jones is the guy for New England. And his numbers are, the opposite of last year. Yeah, and I actually am. Like,
he actually, for sure.
Fully believe in him.
I thought Malik Cunningham was starting week 6.
Well, we'll see if Mac gets hurt. And things are very fluid, Tony, in the NFL. Things
like
are
Stephen
always
A's
fluid.
list.
Yep. Yeah.
Stephen A's top 5 list or whatever, his A list. People just be like, well, it's fluid. It's fluid. That's a good way to back out of it.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, situations are situational. If Mac Jones gets hurt next week and then Malik Cunningham throws for 350 and 8 touchdowns, who am I to sit up here and say, put Mac Jones in over Malik Cunningham?
Let's not put any negativity out there. Let's assume he's not getting hurt.
Yep.
He's playing great football right now.
He's playing really good football.
I haven't seen enough Patriots games. I've not seen enough of the games. I've only seen like the highlights. I haven't seen like the whole game entirety.
Yeah, and like the only primetime game was the Dolphins, and it was a 24-17 game, kind of shitty as far as the offense goes. They didn't score until late in the game, but this weekend they have Dallas, and it's in Dallas. So this will be the first one where it's a 4:25 game of the week. Let's see how they can do with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons might have 15 sacks on Sunday.
Micah Parsons also going to be a guy that's not pumped about him ball tapping people, like Sauce, who's his friend, and things like that. So look for that.
There'll be some of that. There'll be a lot of that.
Max played really hard defenses to start the year.
Yeah.
Eagles, Jets. Who was week 2?
Miami.
Yep.
Yeah,
And now the Cowboys.
And now the Cowboys, yeah.
Their schedule, though, that it is what it is. Like, it's going to be like that the entire year, and that's what makes it more impressive. Like,
Tell him to stop being a scumbag.
Yeah, see, that is something I won't do unless he does it to one
Live
of our
your life,
own
you're saying?
Yeah. If you want to go out there and you want to grab dicks and you want to twist ankles and you want to poke people in the eyes and you want to do all this type of stuff, squeeze thumbs some places when you're not supposed to, then do it. Okay, but if you're going to do it, make sure you're winning football games. I think that's the only problem New England Patriots fans have with it.
If you want to put a target on your back and have people want to hate us even more, okay, you better play good football. You know, last year, Joe Judge, Matt Patricia running that offense, AJ, was not a lot of high times for that Patriots offense. Lo and behold.
Yeah, I want to know how Bill Belichick, what he thinks when he sees these things of Mac. Like when he saw Mac in the sauce thing, which I'm sure they brought it to his attention. What does he say to Mac?
What are you doing here?
I think he loves it.
Do you think Bill loves it?
Yeah, I mean Brady tried to spike everybody every time he slid for 15 years.
Yeah, the leg kick up while sliding. Everyone acts like Mac's the only guy to do that. Like Brady did it all the time, and I actually watched Josh Allen do it last week. Like sometimes you just do that. Now,
Protect yourself.
Did Mac kick some guy in the dong? Yes, he did. Sorry.
Did he
So
twist
what?
some guy's ankle?
Yes, he did. He thought he had the ball.
Did he bat a guy in the dick for no reason?
Yes, he did. He thought
Devin
that he was.
McCourty came out and said, I don't think Mac is a dirty player, but it is getting hard to defend the same thing on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's why I won't defend it, because he's going to do it. It's just as long as he's winning football games. Now, if they lose to the Jets,
Do you think that's what it is? He just, I gotta.
I think he loves
joking around.
Hey, Sauce, good to see you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Listen,
So now are all defenders going to cover their dong the whole time? Now, like when I walk around General Bob, I have to cover myself if I'm anywhere near him. So is that like all 11 defenders just going to be covering up now?
I will say I've certainly done that in photos before, right before photos, just if it felt like it was a little bit too stiff. in the room. I think it has its time and its place. No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the atmosphere was too stiff.
Yeah,
you need
of
to
course.
relax.
Me too.
AJ.
You son of a bitch.
AJ, don't be a child. This is an adult show. Okay, this is an adult show. This is how adults talk.
Yeah, it is.
But I have seen that, it is used, when it's used properly, I think it is quite a lifter. But in sport, I don't think there's ever been a time where people are like, yeah, more cock shots.
Yeah, a little off.
I don't think anybody's saying that. So you say Bill Belichick likes it. I assume Bill is just like, another one? What are we doing? Can we stop with the dick shots for Mac Jones?
I'm banking that he's strictly looking at tape. So they probably went back, looked at that tape, and then if Bill didn't see it, which no one could, never happened.
He has no idea.
Doesn't care.
Hey, Bill, the internet's talking about, you could have stopped that right after you said the internet. I do not know. I don't listen to anything. Do you think he's that locked in?
I think that he
gets
sees stuff
every day about what's been said on the internet.
He gets a report?
They tell him. The PR people tell him. Yes, they have to.
He got his assistant, guy named Burge. I'm not sure if he's still there. I would assume so. But he's right, connected to Bill's office. And everything that happens, everything that the Patriots guys are saying or doing, and everything the other team, the opponent, of course, he's getting it.
The famous one is before the Eagles Super Bowl in 2004 against Andy Reid. It was the night before the game or 2 nights before the game, and he actually brought out, and they had like the old projector where you got to put it down on that little thing in the middle of the room, and then it pops up on the.
That was good for class.
It was great for class.
That thing popped in. We knew.
Typically, usually when it was used, but he pulled out the Philadelphia newspaper that had the Super Bowl parade route on it for the Tuesday after the Super Bowl.
Oh, he was not happy.
He went through the whole entire thing. Like, first we're going to start here. We're going to, go over, see the Liberty Bell. Then we're going to go to he walked through that entire Super Bowl parade route.
Just him being a smash. Liberty Bell, obviously, we know the history of this, the first ever Capitol, and it cracked, obviously. Then we're going to go here. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
And then him turning it into I feel like he can reach people. It's not the fake.
As long as you're producing, though, because Wes Walker was kind of like an asshole. He would do certain things to get under Bill's skin intentionally, but he was a dog on Sunday. But, he kind of went threw some jabs at Rex in the media.
Oh, yeah.
Suspended first half.
Yeah. One time he said something.
Feet?
Got something about leadership. No, not that was the feet thing with Rex, but something about leadership or something. He's like, you got guys in here talking about fucking leadership. You're fucking leading the league in drops right now, Wes. So he'll go after guys, but it's always his sense of his dry sense of humor. But it's
what a coach, what a GM,
a dog.
What a human that we will talk about forever in the football world. Can't wait to see what he does after football.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's going to be much time. I think he's coaching until the day he's dying, and we're all thankful for your service. Let's get your quarterback to stop kicking people in the balls.
Love you, Bill.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back on the other side. We have Gabe Davis of the Buffalo Bills joining us in about 25 minutes or so. Also, some other news around the football world, college and the NFL. You can see down here on this. You see this, AJ?
The ticker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who?
SeatGeek ticker? I can see it.
Hey, SeatGeek kicker. Let's get back on the other side. Let's talk about sports. Shout out to SeatGeek. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Lou Holtz.
Yeah, Coach.
Hey, thank you very much for having me back, Pat. First and foremost, listen, I don't know what the fuck happened, okay? I'm there at the start of the game. I'm with a lot of my former players, a lot of sweet boys who wanted to see Coach Lou. I wanted to see them as well. I watched the first half, Notre Dame. They played pretty well. I mean, they hung in. And then I did what I always do. I flipped the channel over, I watched a little bit of Matlock, and I went to bed. That's what I do every single night. It's kind of my routine. I love that Andy Griffith, but that's beside the point. I wake up on Saturday morning, and I see Ryan Day taking fucking shots at good old sweet Coach Lou. It's bullshit. I mean, you go back, watch the game. Was I wrong? What did I say? I said they get out physical, and I said they get beat by Alabama and Georgia and Michigan twice. And Ryan Day's acting like some goddamn world beater. It took him the entire fucking game, 5 seconds left, to beat Notre Dame, okay? And they did it when Notre Dame had 10 guys on the field 2 fucking plays in a row. Okay, so he can take his victory dance and, I wonder where Coach Lou Holtz is. Hey, listen, Ryan, I might not always know where I'm at, but guess what? People do know where I'm at all times. I ain't fucking hard to find, pal. So if you want to come, talk your shit and say anything and sit down with me, you come find me, okay? I'll be standing here right on Library Lawn in front of Touchdown Jesus. We can talk about things, but don't act like I'm some dipshit. Okay, like I'm some moron. Listen, I know Coach Lou's old, okay, but guess what? Coach Lou can still read, okay? I was on Twitter the following morning, and guess what? Ohio State fans were talking that sweet shit all night long, saying, hey, this Ryan Day's a big dumb dipshit. This guy doesn't know how to call a football game, okay? They were ready to fire your ass 30 minutes into that fucking game, okay? You're lucky you won, son. You're lucky you won. And at the end of the day, Pat, AJ, all you guys know, if he doesn't beat Michigan, it doesn't fucking matter. Ohio State fans expect them to beat Notre Dame, okay? It's a much bigger game for Notre Dame than it was for Ohio State. But I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm 86 years old. You want to pick a fucking fight with me? I was sleeping, for Christ's sake. Just let me be, okay? But if you want beef, come find me, okay? Because I got beef all night long like Fogo de Chao. All you can eat, Ryan.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Anything else, Coach?
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, Notre Dame's fine. They're going to be just fine, okay? Sam Hartman still, I don't think his jersey, it wasn't that dirty. I said that was going to happen. You look back at it.
Field turf.
Basically, shut your fucking mouth, AJ. Show a little respect, will you? Okay? Basically, everything I said came true. So, yeah, Coach Lou may be getting old, but I think he still knows a thing or two about football. Go Irish, and Ryan Day, like I said, hey, you want to throw hands, buddy, come find me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Love you, Coach.
Why? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Winter Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. Hour 3 of this program starts now. Football! That's AJ Hawk. This man has been a champion of football at every single level. He's a stallion. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor, who hates America, and at
Whoa.
You said it 1 hour ago.
That is not what I said whatsoever.
AJ, were you here for this? Did you hear what he said about his shirt and how bad he hates it? He said, there's an eagle and then there's a bunch of other crap on it. Oh, what's that? The American flag.
No.
Boston Commie is back.
No. I was playing to my blue friends, okay? Relax, everybody. Jesus.
You see, we ran an Outkick clip earlier. Buddy had to make a full decision on that one. You know what I mean?
Really?
Because I didn't know this, but I guess Outkick has said some stuff about ESPN.
Really? Sure.
What?
Really?
I think so. But Dan Dawkins, I've known him a long time.
Yeah. And Coach Lou had the shirt on.
He used to come on the show every year to tell us exactly what was going to happen in March Madness.
Yeah, and I'm not certain we're not going to be doing that again. That's going to piss some people off as well. But like that Lou Holtz answer that he gave on the Don't At Me with Dan Dawkins on Outkick.com was like a thing of beauty. I'm very thankful that he did that. I'm happy they got that. But yeah, we had a large Outkick community on, and then literally 4 minutes later, Connor goes, "This shirt sucks. This is my least favorite shirt."
Yeah.
You know what he said?
Oh, yeah. That's
It
what he
fits
said.
the best, but it looks the worst. And I didn't expect that to come out of your mouth, honestly.
That's strictly because it had nothing to do with the American flag. It had strictly to do with the animal itself. typically.
Whoa, you don't have, like,
That's what I'm saying. Come on. You are so wrong here. I don't think you even know how wrong you are.
Not the animal
Give me the
itself
shovel,
in the
pal.
shirt. I mean the shirts as a whole. It's about the animal itself, and this one isn't about the animal, as we can tell right here as we're talking about the flag and the motorcycle. And everyone knows I love motorcycles. But with that being said, I also love birds and animals, and I couldn't have my favorite bird be the center of this shirt.
Okay, understand. I mean,
Why don't you have a flag?
you're going to watch film of this, and I think you're going to be very disappointed with you.
I already did. I watched the other one, and I stand by what I said.
See, that's the problem with society.
Why is that?
Because you were clearly wrong. You sounded like you hated America.
No, you guys are flipping my. You guys are. My words.
That's which also is a problem with America.
Yeah,
so that's potentially our problem.
Words.
We know you hate motorcycles.
I don't hate motorcycles. I love motorcycles. Some people actually did tell me, like, hey, are you from the motorcycle planet?
How about him? You sure about that? With the Detroit Lions?
Oh, man.
He's becoming like the mascot for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is a good thing. I'm very thankful for that. One half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys tone. Diggs is your sweet shirt. That's like one of those
shirts.
Shoes. No, like the shoes that have like the orange. Yeah. It's like a shoe shirt. Yeah. Cal Van Noy is wearing that shoe as a shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're wearing it as a shirt now.
Yeah, I got this like 2.5 years ago. First time I wore it. Felt pretty good this morning.
Yeah, you look sweet. You're healthy. You look
Thank
fit,
you.
by the way.
Yeah.
You been dieting?
I have.
You have been working out?
No,
Just football.
just football.
Eating football.
I work out in the off season.
Yeah, respect. Speaking of working out, ladies and gentlemen, a man who's down 75 pounds in the last 2 months is joining us. 12-year NFL player coach like Jackie Moon, AQ Shipley.
Yeah.
AQ, what have we not talked about today that you think we should maybe hit on here in the last hour?
I think we've nailed it.
Okay.
I think we've talked
Join
about
us
it.
now, nine-year NFL vet, okay. Host of Everything DB, the man-to-man podcast, and obviously NFL matchups on ESPN. Darius J. Butler.
Boy, D-Butt.
D-Butt, what's something we haven't talked about that you think we should maybe dive in on a little bit more?
You know what? We talked about the Browns defense, but first game without Chubb, Deshaun Watson played pretty good.
Okay.
Saw the highlight of him throwing it backwards, but outside of that he played pretty good.
Yeah, the internet was letting their jokes fly about the backwards throw that certainly looked amateur.
Oh, yeah.
But each game, and I brought up the JJ, and I don't know how many people are watching Browns games in their entirety, but as you watch it, it's like you're seeing a guy like kind of knock the rust off.
Mm-hmm.
You're like actually watching it happen in real time. Maybe he's getting more comfortable, maybe he's starting to see defenses or be reminded of what he was from back in the day, but it's taken some time to get there, which gets me to the point of Colin Kaepernick wrote this letter to Joe Douglas after the air. Like he's starting to get there, but it feels like Deshaun's going to get there. We don't know how long, but we feel like he is going to get there.
Good receivers too.
Deshaun Watson was Amari Cooper's.
Balling.
Hey, he really is.
Balling.
And remember, you guys, if the run game doesn't get going, Jonathan Taylor, Amari Cooper, some other pieces, no problem at all.
I'll swap.
Just easy stuff.
He also has to get used to having a stud defense on the other side as well, where he knows, hey, I can be a bit of a game manager if I'm not too comfortable at the moment because my defense will take care of me.
Just don't give the game away. Here, we should win. With the plan that we have, we should win. I just got to do my job. That's a lot of pressure off, hopefully, but there's a lot of pressure on $230 million guaranteed as well.
Yes.
But he took 2 years off from football, and we're seeing him try to find it. Kaepernick's been out for 6 years, right? 6 years. He said in his letter to Joe Douglas a lot of things. And I thought the tone of the letter was vastly different than I think a lot of people would have expected. He said, hey, I just let me lead the practice squad. And best case scenario, you find out that I'm still got it, which I believe I still got it. Worst case scenario, you just let me go, pretty much. Like, what is the worst thing that could happen here? He said that for the last 5 years, Monday through Friday, he's been waking up 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day, still training, looking for an opportunity. If he was able to play any semblance of when he was good. Now, remember, at the end of his career, he wasn't playing that great of football.
No.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news or the reminder, but that is true. I don't think he was focusing on football at the time. I think there was a lot of other things taking his attention and his focus, and I think he made a lot of positive impact on the world, genuinely. I think there's been a lot of money that has been donated and a lot of things that have come back from it. Now, with that being said, he was not in his prime like Deshaun was when Deshaun took 2 years off, and then Deshaun's still working. If this dude, who wasn't playing great football at the time whenever he left football, was able to keep at 5 years to be able to come back and play football at a level, that might be one of the greatest feats in the history of humans, to be honest, athletically. That is my big question mark. Like, buddy, I appreciate everything that you're like your side is stating about how nobody will give you an opportunity, nobody will give you a chance. He also addresses the attention that it might cause if he comes into the locker room and he said, hey, I understand Zach Wilson is to be confident. That's why you put me on a practice squad. It's not even a conversation. I will boost Zach Wilson and make him confident. Now, if he doesn't do well, you're going to have to deal with that on your own, but I very much understand my place. Like the attention he could get, the division of a locker room, the fan base potentially getting pissed off, 5 years, there's a lot of things working against him. But this letter has made its way around because his tone seems to be vastly different than it has been for the last 5 years. What are your thoughts on it all, AJ? And do you think, like what about one of those other leagues? Like the XFL, AJ McCarron.
XFL, USFL. Is he willing to try and do that?
He said, let me on the practice squad.
It seems like a perfect opportunity to go prove that, hey, I still got it. And then I think NFL teams would absolutely take a look if he went out there and put a good year together, put 6-7 games together.
But I assume that's a tough pill to swallow, I would assume.
Very much. But he also knows he's been out for 5 or 6 years, too, at the same time. So has anyone ever – it's an unprecedented move to come back as a quarterback after being out for 5 or 6.
I think it's going to be tough. Just football-wise, it's going to be difficult. I was just punter. And if I'm out 5 years right now, if I was to go, I haven't trained 3 hours every single morning. I have not been that disciplined. I think it's going to be difficult. But he's saying, hey, let me be on the practice squad. So I don't think he's that far away from XFL. I don't think he's that far away from potentially getting to a point where I just want to play football and prove myself. Would be very tough to still be an elite football player after all this time. But I hope there's an opportunity for us to see whether or not he still got it or not, D-Bud, even though it feels like quite a long shot for him to be at the ability that you would need to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, respect Cap and everything he stood for, the stand he took, everything that he went through. I think, once that kind of happened, that ship kind of sailed. Once the settlement, everything when the NFL happened, I think it sailed, honestly. Don't think we'll see him back on the field. I do, appreciate the letter, and he had some references down there as well. Mark Davis, Jim Harbaugh, Chip Kelly, I believe. But if it wasn't Colin Kaepernick and how popular he is and how known he is, this wouldn't be. I don't think it would really be talked about.
Go ahead, Connor.
Well, also the other thing is those are his references. Jim Harbaugh, the Ravens needed a quarterback last year. So if your references is a coach who is on the Baltimore Ravens and they were looking for a third, fourth string, would it not?
Michigan.
Oh, sorry.
John but still Harbaugh. In the family.
John Harbaugh. No, John Harbaugh.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even see that. I'm so sorry.
Ron Harbaugh. But yeah,
both on there.
If John Harbaugh, they were going with Huntley, obviously, towards the end of last season. But I believe Huntley got hurt and Anthony Brown Sr. had to play a game. So, if that's one of the references and they wouldn't bring him in, is that not kind of like a negative?
And I think the Raiders brought him in for a workout, right? So that would be Mark Davis who brought him in for a workout, but ultimately didn't sign him, is also on there. It's a if you're out of the game for 5 years, I just think that's going to take a toll on your ability.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think that's going to take a toll on your ability. And I might be completely wrong, and he might be completely different, but I just think XFL, there's options now. And the XFL would probably build a nice business plan.
Yeah.
They would love him. They would love to have him. Don't you think it would bring so many eyes to the game, I guess.
And all of us would get to see, all right.
Here we go.
Prove it.
You know what I mean? Like that.
If he played well, I think people are like, all right, he wasn't lying. He does. It looks like he's been working out. Looks like he's been throwing. Like, here we go.
I think we need, we need at least something so that all parties can have an opportunity to prove whether or not what they are saying is right or what they're saying is wrong, or maybe it's somewhere in the middle.
He got fucked over when he first got out of the league, and that I feel like there was a window for sure 2-3 years after he was out where it's like, hey, I would give Cap a chance over this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. But as you get further away from the game, like you said, and whatever, regardless of what shape you're doing, what shape you're in, what you're doing to stay in shape, it's nothing like playing football. We saw with Deshaun. He was a top 5 quarterback, missed pretty much 2 years, and then now we see him kind of finding his groove now. So it's tough, man. It's a tough situation all around, obviously, but. It's just,
tough position to be away from. I mean, that's why the fact that he knows that, and the fact that he still wants to potentially showcase that whole thing. I'm like, all right, I hope it happens. I hope we get a chance to see it because, and once again, I reiterate this. I could not go kick in the NFL right now. And that's just kicker. That's not decision making. That's not anything like that. That's just I could not go do that right now, mentally, physically. And I've been out for 5 years. Quarterback, there is 10 other guys that you have to kind of know everything about. You have to have the feel of what the defenses are. You know how much defenses have changed in the last 6 years? I mean, it's just like, if he was able to do that, it would be one of the most impressive things a human has done in a long time. And I would like to see if it's possible, to be honest with you.
Well, and I get like, hey, put me on the practice squad so it's not like a distraction or anything like that. But like, it will be. Like the Jets had Tim Tebow and he was just a PP, and like you saw the media circus around him every single day. Like, there's just no way you can avoid that. And obviously, like, the timing of this and everything, like the Jets went out and they signed Trevor Siemian. It's like, hey, we're moving on. We got a guy. Like, it's not going to happen, and it's unfortunate. But especially in that market, I just don't know how he could go there and have it not be a big deal.
Carson Wentz don't have a job right now.
Yeah.
All that being said, it was a very well-written letter.
It was.
For sure.
I did not expect it. As I was reading it, I'm like, different tone.
Very
than I
positive
thought.
light.
And I didn't want to read it, because the way I feel is like, I hope he gets an opportunity to show. I think it's going to be very difficult to be good at football at this stage. And if that's the case, it's going to be tough for the whole, I'm getting screwed thing. If you go out and do terrible, like that's only going to get louder on the other side. He knows that. So the fact that he still wants to get out there and do it, I'm like, this guy's got to think. He still has it a little bit. And I didn't want to read it because I didn't want to have to be like, oh, this guy still thinks he's Patrick Mahomes here this entire thing, And then I started reading through it and I was like, this is a different tone than what I thought was coming out of Colin Kaepernick. And the people that don't like Colin will not read that, and they will not hear that. Not. But those people who don't like him, if they saw him play football again, and I don't want to be like, XFL would be that feels like a perfect.
Yeah.
It feels like a perfect
proving ground.
Like, a lot of guys from the XFL. How many did The Rock say? 20-some?
Yeah,
50. 20-some people have gotten into camp or whatever. You do well there. He's saying, I'll do practice squad. What's practice squad payday? What's practice squad paycheck?
$7,500 a week-ish.
So you do the math, times 17, yada, yada, yada.
134,
6,800. The XFL could probably afford to pay.
I would think.
11,500 a week for practice.
It's gone up.
Oh, good for everybody. Yeah, the ratings going yodely, yodely, yodely. What's that? 11,500 times 17.
Which leagues are they talking about combined?
18, I guess.
USFL, XFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the USFL feels like just going to go underneath
become
the XFL.
207,000.
So what?
That's gone up a ton.
Well, you're being so negative about Kyle Van Noy getting on a practice squad.
Well, I mean, that's gone up a ton. When we came in the league, it was 80-something.
Actually, there's a couple articles that say it's 12,000 now.
Whoa, even more.
Damn.
Yeah.
More.
So the XFL will be able to pay six figures, though, to Colin Kaepernick. They'll also, I assume, put him in a situation where he'll have a good offense.
Yes,
because they'll have him on prime time. They'll want to do that. If he's already saying, I'm willing to prove it at the practice squad, it's like, I just hope you get a chance to prove it at all. Why not just let the XFL run a business around you a little bit and you get back on the football field?
With the Deshaun situation, do you think that, and granted they're completely different situations, but do you think that's kind of like the Manti Te'o thing, where like Te'o had to, one, get over the situation and then also like get over it for himself versus just the situation as a whole?
How about, I mean, maybe there was very serious, Ali. I mean, that was very tough.
Yeah.
I mean, there was very serious stuff. Now, I'm not saying tough for him. We're talking about tough for the NFL having to deal with what that whole thing was. I assume it was pretty jarring.
Yeah,
that Manti Te'o thing was interesting, though. He said he was standing on the sideline and he could feel his legs for the first time in the NFL. That was wild. Did you hear him say that, AJ?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I felt terrible for him. Like, that would be brutal. And it just seems like in college he was rolling. Like, he could do no wrong. Like, everything he was doing was working out. And then you get to the league and like put in a little mental prison. It sounded awful.
Isn't it crazy what your brain can do, man?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's crazy how powerful your brain is either way, good or bad.
It is. It's wild. I'm happy we're at a state where we kind of understand that more, but it is, he couldn't feel his leg. Like his brain was sending messages to his legs for the nerves just to like stop working. Like that is insane. And then as soon as you leave there, he's good walking around.
Yeah. And then he blows his Achilles.
First day.
When he finally is back.
As soon as he gets back to being himself, that's a shame. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute weapon.
Hell yeah.
This man, we have learned, has not only been great on the football field, but his brain is a magical one.
Mm-hmm.
He is offered up, and we can never let him forget this.
Nope.
That whenever a Bildo comes flying onto the field after he scores another touchdown, he will take that thing and put it right on his helmet as if it is a unicorn. A Bildo unicorn. As soon as I heard him
Chase
say,
the ref around. chase the ref around too. You forgot that part.
Oh, yeah, because he's going to try to hook him.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to try to hook him,
Like a
hook
rhino.
the ref.
Yep.
That, as soon as those words come out of this guy's mouth, we think to ourselves, oh, top 5 human of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, Gabe Davis.
What up, what up? Appreciate it. Love the introduction.
Hey, does that still stand, by the way? Or are we still potentially, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, we would like to let you know that still stands, what was it, 70-yard touchdown?
Yeah.
Yep.
Another 70-yard touchdown. We'll donate $70,000 to a charity of your choosing. We'll carry that over for another year. Let's get that thing happening. Week 1, offense not fantastic for the Buffalo Bills. Last 2 weeks, though, kind of come together. What have you guys seen in meetings or practice that makes you feel like, hey, the Buffalo Bills offense is all the way back, Gabe?
I mean, I feel like we were always back. We just had a rough game. This first game of the season, it kind of looked weird around the whole league like that. Obviously, the last 2 weeks we showed what we can do. I feel like we just got to stay in that consistent mindset, keep the energy, keep the focus up, and I feel like we'll be good to go.
Hey, they're talking about some of these Josh Allen throws, Gabe, where he's off balance and he's just laser, like 35, 40 yards. Is there ever a time whenever you're on the field with him where you're like, that was absurd? Do you think about that with him? And how are your conversations talking about his insane arm?
Yeah, I mean, he can get himself out of some crazy situations and put the ball right on your chest. He's definitely a quarterback I love playing with. I do have one thing. There was one. Is this the one where he throws? Oh, this is me.
Yeah, hey, great touchdown. Hey, Gabe.
Yeah, so I saw the safety. The safety came down on that one because we sent Diggs in motion. And as soon as I see him coming down, I guess he thought I was going to push crack. I was like, oh, shit, this is a touchdown. I hope Josh sees it. And as soon as I turned around, the ball's already coming. And it was in the best spot it can be. And I was glad that he was able to hit me on that one.
You're saying there was another play, though, that something happened where you're just mind blown on the field?
Not mind blown, a little bit disappointed. He came around the corner and me and Diggs was underneath and he gave him a good one, but I was in the back, thinking I'm about to score a 60-yard touchdown or something crazy. I probably ain't see me.
Yeah, what's that all about, Gabe? Do you have to talk to him about it afterwards? How's your delivery to him? Hey, there was a, is that how it goes down?
Well, I'd be like, I probably might only have a couple more left with you, so we got to kind of get this connection going while we can.
Oh!
I'm playing. I'm saying. No, I'm messing around. I always mess with him about, but, he gets him to go when he can, and we make a lot of plays. I mean, I think about someone just told me, what you got, like 28 touchdowns? I'm like, yeah, bro, I got a lot of touchdowns with 17. He's a great quarterback, and, couldn't be nowhere better.
Hey, you got 28 touchdowns? Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, sure.
It feels like a lot of them. Go ahead, AJ.
Where are you guys at mentally right now as a team? We love having you guys on because you seem like a college squad, how you guys hang out, you get along. How do you not kind of get on that roller coaster of an NFL season where after week 1, people want to say they don't have it anymore, and then we see you get back on track? How do you kind of stay steady the whole year?
Yeah, well, I feel like, it's funny because a lot of the older guys on the team with me, they tell me that they've been on a lot of teams and nothing is more as tight-knit and close as this one is. I feel like we're a really close team. We all hang out together. And I feel like that's what kind of keeps everything flowing here in Buffalo. I host poker games 2 nights a week. The boys are at the house. We're hanging. We're having dinner. We're chilling, watching football.
What nights? Tuesday, Wednesday?
Monday nights and Friday nights.
Oh, what are we playing? Hold'em?
Yeah, playing Hold'em, yeah. 5-10.
How's the team?
Solid. We got a board on who's the top dogs.
Who are you? How are you? You good?
Best one there is.
Oh! You're hosting the game. I assume you love it maybe a little bit more. How is the poker community up there? You guys got how many players?
We get about 9 minimum and somewhere up to 12, but we don't like 12-person tables.
You said 5-10?
Yeah, 5-10.
Oh, we got some big pots. We got some.
We got some huge spots.
Yeah. Who's anybody that we wouldn't suspect going to those games, showing up to those games? Like is Tyler Bass showing up and just raking?
T-Bass is there. T-Bass.
Really?
T-Bass is a part of the crew.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. Okay,
Sam Martin as well.
To your point, AJ. Okay, there's the punter and the kicker hanging out at the wide receiver. I assume there's some defensive players in there. It's not like that everywhere. You guys know that that's a special thing, right?
Yeah, that's what the guys tell us all the time. I mean, it's everybody: receivers, linebackers, D-line, O-line, special teams. I mean, they're all at the house hanging out.
And you guys are always getting better on that jugs machine. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with anybody in this thing that has not had a jugs machine operate in the back.
True.
The Buffalo Bills are always getting better.
Yeah.
Gonna have to. Hey, big time weekend. Ty's got a question for you.
Yeah, Gabe, obviously you guys' offenses looked great the last couple weeks, and you're very capable. But after seeing the Dolphins hang 70 last week, like when going into this game this weekend, you guys have the mindset like, hey, we're going to have to score on every possession to kind of keep pace with these guys and make sure it doesn't become a runaway? Or is it just business as usual with them coming in?
That's literally one of the emphasis that McDermott talked about today. Each game is the same game, and that's how we're going into it.
Okay. No, nothing else needs to be said.
Boom.
Nothing else needs to be said at all. Same emphasis. Doesn't matter. We're going to have to play them again anyways. Do you watch around the league, though? Do you have a sense of what's going on everywhere else?
Sort of. Not really. I mean, I'm really just, if anything, watch the film of the guys we're playing that week, and that's about it. See what's on, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, but not really too into what's going on everywhere else.
Well, the Dolphins are scoring a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just scoring a lot. Backup quarterback comes in, we're throwing a 70-yard. I mean, they are scoring a lot of points, Gabe. We'll just keep you updated on that. Shane Gillis called your anytime touchdown. He won 11-4, I think, picking games against the spread, and had an under hit and your anytime touchdown score. It might be the best gambler on earth, legit. How do you know Shane, and what's that relationship from?
Hit up Shane, watched his special on YouTube, thought he was the best. Told him it was dope. Then he came to Buffalo to perform, and then he so happened to come to the Pittsburgh game. In the Pittsburgh game, that's when I had like 3 catches for like 180-some yards and like 2 touchdowns. And we realized that he was my muse, man.
Yeah, he called your touchdown this week. It was incredible stuff. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Gabe, Stephon Diggs was on the show last week, and he kind of talked about you and how, this is kind of the best he's ever seen you and the most healthy he's ever seen you as well. Were you dealing with a lot of injuries, last year and in the past? And also, is it difficult to judge or kind of decide, like, hey, if I'm at 70%, I still need to be out there, or, hey, I'm at 70%, I don't want to be out there and put out bad tape and have guys think I'm not great?
Yeah, I mean, for me, through the short NFL career that I had so far, I always end up busting up my ankles. I feel like I was having trouble with high ankle sprains, and I had to stop being so stubborn and start taking care of my ankles and taping them up. So I feel like me doing that this year has really pushed me forward into being healthy, feeling good, and moving around so much better than that I have been, the past couple of years. I just feel like that kind of, stopped me from reaching, the player that I could be. And me taking the right steps to do what I do now has made me better.
Hell yeah, you're maturing. Look at you. You're all mature now. You're voted captain this year. Bro, come on. What did that mean whenever you heard those results and you got to see on your chest?
It was crazy just because this team, you got a lot of veteran guys who've been playing this game for a long time. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Von Miller, Steph, all these, great players that I play with. And the fact that, me being, still on my rookie deal, being 24 years old, but me having that C on my chest, means something special. I know the guys have seen the work that I put in and the sacrifice I put into, be a great player, and show them that, when shit hits the fan, that's when I go my hardest, and I try to do that each and every day.
Hey, that's a big deal, man. That's a big deal, especially, contract year, everything like that. Like your teammates saying, hey, this guy's a leader for us. We appreciate him. Massive. And I think it will have ripple effects forever. They're going to have to keep you. Tone has a question about one of the guys you just mentioned.
Yeah, Gabe, you just mentioned our friend Vaughn. How's he doing? Are we getting him back after this week?
Break news, Gabe. Break news, Gabe.
Yeah, see, exactly.
You're a captain. You're a captain. Break news.
Yeah, he looks good. Looks great. He looks like he's ready to play. That's on his call. It's his call.
Go ahead, AJ.
What's the rest of the day look like for you? Like right now, you just got off the practice field? You got post-practice meetings? You got workouts, or do you do all that in the morning?
What are we into?
Yeah, what are you wearing today?
I'm an early morning workout guy, and then just meetings, and then
Wednesday your padded day? Is Wednesday the padded day for you?
Wednesday's pads, and then Thursday's shells, and then Friday's obviously nothing.
You're in full pads right now? Pants and all?
Yeah, pants and all, yeah.
Hated.
But not me. Not me. I cut my shorts and I don't wear the thighs, but everybody else be out there. A lot of people out there full pat.
I hate the full pat.
You know how receivers are diva receivers. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's not say that publicly contract here, but like, let's who's on the jugs machine right now?
McDermott?
Nope. No, it's Isabella.
Isabella? How is the hey? We got weapons this year. We got a bunch of weapons. Feels like a new guy too as well. How do we feel about the offensive weapons versus maybe last year, and how do you think it bodes for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we just added guys. I feel like the offense is interchangeable. All the guys are interchangeable. I feel like all the guys can go out there and do the same thing. So we definitely have the weapons for whatever we need to do.
So why are you always open, Deep? Is it because you're fast? Because you're smart? What do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I just get lucky sometimes, I guess.
28 times, huh?
Yeah, that's
is that how many you said? 28 times you just get lucky?
Yeah.
Are you reading defenses or what? What like honestly, is it your routes?
No, for sure. No, like I said, when we played Washington, and I saw once we sent Steph in motion, the corner kind of bit, the safety flew down, and then once I saw that, I knew he was going to get in trail to try and keep up, and I knew the angle that I took was Josh was going to throw me flat, and I was going to be wide open.
There's just so much going on the football field. I don't think anybody even knows. That's just one play, let alone the other 27 touchdowns you have. You're a legend, brother. Have a great rest of your season.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
Hey, 70 plus.
70 plus.
Hold on, though. What if it's 70? 70 counts.
I think so.
Yeah, 70 and up.
69 and a half.
Nope. They rule that 70.
I don't know, because if the ball's not on the
board, it'll say 70.
All right, 69 and a half. Over 69 and a half
Okay.
yards. That'll
What you were smoking, AJ? What were you smoking on?
Just a cigar. A little cigar.
I knew it was a cigar. I didn't think you were smoking weed.
Well,
yeah, we don't know.
Never know.
Last night.
Connecticut.
Davidoff Grand Coup.
What do you guys?
Okay, Davidoff. He's a high roller. Yeah, that's a nice one.
So you smoke while you're playing those cards? We got smoke, whiskey?
What?
What are we doing, or what do we got?
Nah. Nope. Water and water. That's it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Glasses? You wearing glasses? What do you wear?
Nope, don't wear no glasses. I want people to see.
You talk? You a chirper at the table?
Yeah, big chirper.
Show your cards.
I'll show them if they're good enough.
Yeah.
Pocket kings on my boy, and got quads, so beat him pretty bad because he got a full house. So break and put
When that happened to your house?
Yeah, a couple days ago, like 2 days ago.
We had a 4 of a kind beat a full house?
4 of a kind with a full house.
Oh, that'd be such a big pot. That pot had to be so large. Oh my God. Somebody was so pumped and then so devastated so quickly. Yeah. Monday, Friday, you said?
Monday, Friday, y'all come through.
I would like to show up at one of those games. I would like to do that. We got to figure that out. We got to make that happen.
Let's figure it out.
Okay. AJ will bring a cigar. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabe Davis, thank you, pal.
Appreciate it.
Yo, he said 9 people every single week at least?
Yeah, that's sweet.
Monday, Friday, too. I mean, that's a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen teams do 2 times, but I guess, they're very tight.
Monday's a big hangout. Like, Monday's a good day to hang out because you get Tuesday off. You go and get your little lift in and watch some film on Tuesday. So Monday's always fun.
Also, Monday Night Football, easy to put on in the background.
Yeah.
Just like something real easy to play.
Especially this time of year, in Indianapolis, like the fall weather, like September, October, there's something about it when you're leaving the facility or whatever and you're driving home and it's like nice crisp air. Like, yeah, this is a special time of year.
Yeah. Poker games, team poker games are awesome. I'm so happy to hear Tyler Bass is there, Sam Martin's there.
Great bonding.
We
used to have some great dice games.
Bro, that Colts team, I think, played more games than any team I've ever been on. Yeah, West Virginia, we had a lot of card players.
Rookie year,
a lot of card players. We had a lot of card players. They tried to bring me in as a rookie like I was going to be some fish. I don't think so. That's going. Hey, those chips are going the other way than you guys were thinking there. I love poker, always have. And then from those games, get a chance to get introduced to other games. I was at this Dennis game. And there was this other game I was playing. My rookie year, boy, I was really playing a lot of cards.
Is that Boo Ray as well? Is that?
I'm not a big Boo Ray player. Boo Ray is a lot of
reactions.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, never mind.
I like games where there's a chance.
We should play. We never play
Poker?
Yeah,
I agree. Well, it takes a lot to set up, and it takes a while.
It takes hours.
Yeah.
You got to be able to commit to hours to be able to play.
It's a real hang.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We did blackjack that one night at your house. That was super fun.
Yeah, we should do
that was awesome.
Yeah, I was the house. I lost, right?
Not for,
No,
wasn't
you
that
won.
fun for D, but if I remember.
We got real boozed up.
Butch
that
was
night.
blacked out.
What happened? What happened, D-Butts?
This is my birthday.
Mixing tequila, wide.
Wide.
What kind of beer was it?
You know.
I believe you know. Yeah.
You know what it was.
It was a K.
bro.
The little whiskey.
Wide.
Yeah, it was
The
everything.
beer, it was rough for you, boy.
It was I was the house though. I was the dealer for blackjack.
great.
It was a good time. Everybody was boozing.
Yeah.
Video.
We got wrecked.
Yeah, everybody got pretty hammered.
It was sweet. D-Bud fell asleep in the back of Bruce's Lexus.
Yeah, well, not only, Bruce's Lexus, by the way, was the creme de la creme.
Truly.
What year was it,
of
88?
Lexi. Yeah. It was the original Lexi.
Yeah.
It was the original.
Really?
Flex.
Well, actually,
Actually, it was a 93.
It was actually the fourth model of the car that I drove, actually. So
Oh,
Hell of a
Lexi.
car, Lexi girl.
Lexi was. Well, I couldn't open
Long
it.
may she reign.
Hey, hell of a run, though.
Good run.
Not better than Dayball.
Traded her for, big blue Dayball
Blue.
out there.
Yeah, do you regret that now, or what do you think about the Giants, Bruce? We haven't really talked much about the Giants, I think, at all since week one, probably. But how do we feel about the Giants?
I'm optimistic going into Monday night with Seattle coming to town. Kind of blind hope. But
Pete Carroll lives for this. Pete Carroll might be. They're going into MetLife.
yeah,
Pete Carroll might be running out with the American flag.
Yeah.
You know, like they saw Aaron do with that Seattle Seahawks team. He feels more energized than he's ever been. Lose to the Niners. A lot of people are going to do that. Daniel Jones, though, feels comfortable, right, Bruce? We're good?
yeah. We're feeling much better, and we should be healthier. You know, Saquon does have that Wolverine blood. He'll probably be back in action. I am worried about DK Metcalf on our young corners. It could be a big day for him.
Yeah, and Geno can hit it. Hey,
What a Lockett. I mean, I'd be worried about Lockett, too. He's probably going to cook those guys.
well, Geno, though, if he has any time at all,
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most prolific throwers.
Smith and Jigba as well.
Yeah, they haven't really
gotta
got
get
him
him going.
cooking yet.
Did you see that speech
I
Geno
did.
gave Jackson Smith and Jigba on the sideline?
Yep.
That was good. That was sweet
That
to
was
kind of
cool.
watch that kind of unfold. Now, did it work? I don't know. And what was Jackson Smith thinking on the other side? Jackson Smith and Jigba thinking on the other side, like, stop talking to me. But I appreciate
Show me the damn ball.
I appreciate that Geno went up to him and was like, hey, we're going to need you, pal. You know, let's get this thing going. Young guy, they'll find it. They'll find it.
Yeah.
Seahawks are a problem, though.
Yeah.
Great squad. That must be so hard for Jackson Smith and Jigba, too. He's been the number one guy at every place he goes, and then he goes to a place where there's two. Yeah, I guess not every single place, but
Marvin Harrison Jr. showed up. It
Yeah.
was the whole conversation. He sat out the whole year.
he didn't play with
did.
Marvin. Yeah, he never played with him.
Could be some rust there, too.
Yeah, what's that going? He missed a year. Why? Was he all right?
He had a nasty hamstring, didn't he?
Hamstring.
Yeah, and then he broke his
wasn't
hand. He broke his hand, and he kept playing through the broken hand. They said he was going to be out 4 weeks. He hasn't missed near anything, actually.
He had surgery, didn't he? Have some kind of surgery on it?
He had surgery. He was practicing that week.
He's out there with a cast on.
Yeah.
Rarely see that with receivers.
That's a tough thing.
Yeah.
Real tough for him, for sure.
You say you want to have soft hands. Cast is actually
Very
hard.
It is.
That'll kind of work against you.
hardest
A
thing.
little bit.
That'll kind of work against you. All right. It's Wednesday. You know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
Red
means
light.
it's time to spotlight some of the big boys in run games around the NFL. It's time to go in the trenches with our guy, A.Q. Shipley.
Here we go. Oh, we got a good one this week.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Sweet again. Look at that clothes.
Yeah, he does look so cool.
The skinny jeans. I didn't think they fit
Those
on
your
those
favorite
guys.
combos again?
Looks
Hey,
good, doesn't
your
it?
wife has to love you so much right now.
She hates me.
No.
What? Why?
I don't know.
I don't
Why?
believe that.
Because all
for a
that
second.
wrinkly, gross skin
Hey,
you got?
Every time I go get a workout, and oh god, here we go. I got to watch the kids again for another 3 hours. Well, you go get your workout.
Oh, well, geez, it does sound like you're maybe abusing your privilege. to go
Maybe a
work
little
out.
bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a
But
little
hey, it's
bit.
work. Hey,
She gotta love how you
it's
look.
working though.
Yeah.
It's working.
That's why you
I'm
keep pissing the shipyard, ain't it?
Yeah, you can't flush the toilet
I didn't
out
realize that until you said that. I was like, God.
there. Did you
AJ
see
was
the
so
video?
disgusted.
Yeah, it was bright yellow from the vitamins.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
whole.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, the
I can
whole.
tell.
The whole. It wasn't just like a little yellow. That thing had been not flushed for about 2-3 months.
It might have been. It
probably
might have been.
smelled
It might have been a
it.
couple days.
Gee.
There's
That was
no
a porta
water.
john.
Might have
That's
been.
a
But
porta
it's
john.
my gym. I can do that, right?
Well, I said yeah, but then once I took a look at it again in the film, it was like, oh, we got to we got to flush the toilet once a week.
Yeah.
It
know what I
was.
mean?
I mean, like I said, it was only a couple days.
You look back, that thing's pretty high.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you're hydrating, but that's good 15, 20 pisses.
Yeah, he's
it
a
looks
sick
like.
There's no water in that toilet. That is full of piss.
You might be right.
That might be why.
That's on me.
You want the stick, AQ? Or
Should we do the stick?
Or
Should
the
we go
cowboy?
back? Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh, can
stick
you
to that.
lift
I'm gonna
it
get, I'm
with
gonna
those
get back.
tiny arms?
I will say this,
I'm gonna get
AJ.
back.
He's jacked up right now. The reason why he has so much energy running through his system
Yep.
is because he did that face thing.
That's
earlier.
right. Yep. That's right. It was a good position this morning too. There. Oh, look at this position.
Look how thin he is.
You though, AQ? Is
Yeah.
that you?
Oh yeah, that's me.
Look how good
I
this
saw
dude
that
looks.
picture. I can't believe that's you. Like, look how lean you are.
You look good,
What
buddy.
the fuck does that mean?
Look at you.
Oh, yeah, you look great.
You
I
look
mean, you've
awesome.
seen me
What
for
do you mean?
3 weeks now.
Oh, hold on. Let's pull up an old photo of this guy.
Not shirtless
Yeah.
though, like
Do
this.
Do the one with Kelsey.
just take
where-
the
Look at the
compliment.
back right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
you
good
look
angle,
amazing, dude.
Huh?
You're gonna fly away with
That's
those
from those
lats.
pull-ups.
Look at you. Hey,
AQ.
Now, was that on your meat before that or after that?
They were trying to get me to put it straight on. I said we can't burn 2 inches of fury.
That's a good point.
That's what you used to look like. Look at you on the left.
You look good there too, though. He looks great.
Well, you can be honest.
I mean, I was 325 right there.
And
It's the
now
off
You're
season.
doing what it takes.
And now what are you?
252.
Boom.
Wow.
AQ, you tell him about how you took your fish oil pills this morning?
Throw it down.
Boom. How about that?
Nailed it.
How about
I
that?
did see a lot of people agree with you on
How
that,
about
which
that?
was kind of
I'm gonna tell
concerning.
you something
How
too,
about
and
that?
it works.
No.
Every time I go here and get caught,
Tell him, AQ.
you go here, just
That was
straight
for-
down the old street.
Screaming from the
That's for
mountaintop.
children.
I'd like you to let.
Yeah,
I
that's
took
like what I
2
tell my
capsule
kid.
pills this morning. Just put them in my mouth. Just swallow them, just like you're supposed to do.
As an adult, yeah.
Yeah.
Like children, when they're learning how to do such a thing, they say, hey, these ones float.
Yeah.
And all of us forgot that because they're telling this to 5-year-olds, you know? So then you find a graph on the internet. Well, look, it's a real thing. That was in an elementary school.
So?
That was for children.
The North remembers. We remember how to swallow pills from day one. We don't let those genius tricks of the trade just be forgotten.
You're telling me that you actually tried that this morning? Were you embarrassed? You got this red
I
light
did it.
thing. You're
I
down
did it,
70 pounds. You're
and it
doing this
works.
children thing.
Yep.
It works.
Thank you, AQ.
It works.
That's all I needed.
All right.
I got him
You know
with
what
the
else
fake.
works?
Start drinking like
Just
this.
doing it normally.
You just
Pop them in.
That's too
That
hard.
doesn't work for me.
Thank you.
Gets caught.
He's taking 27 pills.
Finally, a man of substance.
This guy's taking 27 pills.
You two
Yeah.
are just admitting that you can't take pills as an adult.
Yeah, kind of an embarrassment.
No, we take them the right way, the smart way. If
No,
Bill,
and everybody that's agreeing
Hey.
with you is like, yeah, they're right. It's
Work
like, yeah,
smarter, not harder. Isn't that what
we
they
learned
say?
a lot about you.
that is what they say, isn't it?
Work smarter, not harder.
It's not hard to.
Huh?
It's not hard work to take a.
But it's smarter.
29 of them it is.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
How many are you doing at a time?
2 to 3. Sometimes.
Say,
Those
that's
fish,
what I'm
those
saying.
fish
Yeah.
oils are big though.
They're huge.
Yeah.
I'm taking probably 29 of them. I'm never getting to that point in my life where that's a commitment.
18 of them are the beef organs and all the dumb stuff
You're
that,
taking-
that I'm listening to, you know?
29 is that's
It's a lot.
it's crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, those are.
You're doing at least 5 to 10 in a pop there, though. You're saying you're doing 2 to 3. It's like, damn, all right.
It's all day. That's what he said. He's like, what are you doing? Just popping Skittles?
Yeah,
I was just,
those are OD numbers, brother.
They are.
They are.
They are. That's way too many pills you're
Yeah.
taking. What did you say? They're what? Beef organs?
yeah.
Beef organs?
So part of my diet says to eat that. I can't stomach the eating, so I just take the.
So Liver King?
No.
Did Liver
Sounds
King
like Liver
get you?
King.
No, it's.
You're Liver King?
No, I'm not
You're
Liver
a
King.
carnivore?
No, no.
What are you?
Liver King
It's
got
animal based. Paul Saladino.
Paul Saladino. Okay.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Paisan.
Paulie D.
Paulie D.
Paulie Dino.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Plus 29 pills?
Plus 29.
They can put beef organs into pills?
Yeah, I guess
They
somehow.
can put anything into pills, Tony.
Hell
Bingo.
yeah.
You
Hell
nailed
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I appreciate where science is at for that whole aspect.
It's cool.
But I'm not signing up for liver pills that I can't take anyways. I mean, that was an embarrassment to hear you can't take a pill. Don't be siding with this.
No, it's smart, AQ.
You know what I mean, AQ?
This is skinny. This is
I'm with
skinny,
you.
AQ.
Is this Paulie Dino?
Whoa.
Is that Paul Saladino? That's him.
That's messy without a beard. What do we? That's
That
not,
is methy.
Yeah, that's not Paul Dino.
What does the ST stand for, AQ?
Strength training.
Oh, original.
Really?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I have no idea if that's right.
With the
'Cause
Superman?
clearly strength doesn't end in ER.
Super training.
Yep.
Oh, super training.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and that's
little
why he's got a
Superman
hammer.
logo.
Hey, Paulie Dino, thanks for making our guy a superhero.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Paul.
He's fully committed to you, Paulie Dino.
That's it.
You put anything out there, hey, we need some
I'm in.
frothy pills. You'll.
I'm all in on it.
It works. Look at the way he looks.
He looks unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
50-something years old.
What?
Paulie Dino?
Yeah.
No way.
That's
Yeah.
bull.
No way.
Look it up. Come on, Zeke. Give me something good here.
That guy's not 50.
I think he's 50.
Even tan too. He looks good.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Perfect.
Anyways, AQ, that could be you.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Trying to catch up to AJ. Saw AJ out at the Super Bowl. That was my motivation.
Why? Because he was so jocked?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Working out with trees and ropes at 6 a.m. every morning. That guy's unbelievable.
It's absurd, yeah. No. I'm normally in it. That Paulie Dino is 46 years old, we just got told. And
still pretty good.
AJ, how old are you?
39.
Ooh.
Damn.
Last year.
The commitment you have is phenomenal.
Last year alive?
Yeah,
on Earth, you mean?
Over the hill, dude.
Just being yoked.
40. Bob Carpenter running sprints at the age of 40.
It's crazy.
Running 20 half gassers, not just running sprints, running 20 half gassers timed with a 30-second timed rest.
Dog.
Change in direction, stop, start at this age is horrible.
Paulie Dino, he
That's
is the
what I'm
liver
taking.
king.
There we go.
That's
beef
what I'm
organs.
taking.
You're
Bone
taking
liver.
his beef organs?
Bone, liver, okay.
Extra beefy.
Yeah, see, that's his company, Heart and Soil.
And that's the pills you're taking?
How much is he paying you for this?
I mean, I hope he sends them to me for free right now.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, it sounds like you're working an angle here to try to get some free shit. I don't necessarily love it, but I do appreciate
Good move.
I do appreciate what you've done here. I do like that you're part of this guy's cult, though, because Liver King had a bunch of people in his cult.
Oh, yeah.
There's other people that have people in their cult. I'm hoping to find mine someday. What you were doing is phenomenal.
I'm in it.
You look
Send it.
incredible.
You're in?
Yeah, send it to me.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
That doesn't sound real.
more.
That doesn't sound real.
It's coming from a guy who said he doesn't work out during football season.
Well, I fell down the steps this morning, so.
What?
Yeah, Tone was looking at me. I sit to the left of Tone every morning, and I asked him a question, and he went like this to me. He's like, huh? And I'm like, are you fucking okay? He goes, what? Can you tell? I'm like, yeah, it looks like you had a neck brace on, pal. You all right? He goes, fell down the steps this morning, 5:30 a.m. I was like, what? Yeah. He did. He took quite a fall. We're pretty pumped that he doesn't have broken anything.
Down at least like 8 steps or so.
What did you do?
It was dark. Was taking the dogs out. They're at my feet. I slipped off of a step and fucking landed on my backside and shoulder. I think I whiplashed because my neck is very stiff right now.
There's a couple times, he picks me up every morning whenever I come in, and so there's a couple times he was doing this on the way in. I'm like, what happened, man?
Almost died 5:30 this morning.
Those DeGilio hounds are a menace.
Yeah, they are. Those dogs are some dogs.
Tony Biden walking down the stairs these days. Good Lord.
No, he caught himself.
His idol.
He did.
That's true.
He did.
Let's not get on any bikes.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, let's dive into the trenches. Who did some good stuff this weekend? Handsome AQ, healthy AQ,
Let's go.
bone liver AQ.
We got some good stuff. Kansas City. This is what I love about this, right? So we always talk about this. First guy we're going to watch him because he has no fucking idea where the ball is going. Got to love your Chicago Bears defense. Crushing it right now. Goes down the line. Ball nowhere to be seen. But it starts with the jet motion. AJ, talk about this, right? We get the jet motion going right here. Watch these guys. Oh, shit. Where's the ball, right? They're selling zone because this is a zone team. Kansas City always sells a zone. Everybody thinks it's zone. But check this out. We get the fucking over-the-top backhandling to Pacheco coming out the backside. Now, here's the best part. You can see Sky Moore coming in. He has no idea where the ball's going because everybody's selling zone here, plus the jet motion. Oh, shit. There's the crack block. And then we get the tight end coming back.
Wow.
Get in the corner. See ya. Get Pacheco in space.
Wow.
Good luck for white out on linebacker there.
Pretty awesome,
Great
right?
block.
Yeah.
But that's huge because it sets it up because you get the eye candy with the jet motion, no idea, and now you can get a receiver that just gets the element of surprise when he comes on that crack block. You get Sky Moore coming down. Look at this. This is unbelievable. They just seal everything. Nobody knows where the ball's in. And boom, you get him out in space with a
big gaping hole.
Why doesn't every team just do this, AQ?
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Listen, it's starting to become the norm. You're starting to see it more and more because the guys on the other side of the ball are so good. They're so freakish. The way they control gaps, the way they play with play strength is incredible. So here, let's just make it a little bit easier. But here's a team that just plays bully ball. We don't need to do anything fucking creative. We run inside zone weak. Look, let's go back. This is unbelievable.
Love that.
First of all, David Onyemata is one of the strongest guys I ever played against. Had an unbelievable career down in New Orleans. Goes over to the Falcons, signs a big deal. Watch Frank Ragnow, what he does when he snaps him across the left guard's face and then climbs. And then now we get 2 for 1 climbing to the second level. And now we get the seal with Frank at the second level. And that is where the
big gaping hole. Gibbs hits it and gets it too, huh?
Boom. Unbelievable. He gets downhill, puts one little move on him, makes someone miss in space.
Look at that.
Hell of a run.
Look at this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he said, you guys think you got a running back. Watch what I can do.
Hell
I'm a
yeah.
rookie, too.
This was a massive drive, too, all led by the offensive line here, AQ.
That's exactly right. I talked about it with Foxy. I think I talked about it with you guys before. From the 13-minute mark of the fourth quarter, they said, forget it. We are going to go downhill. 2 plays prior to this, you get an unbelievable block by him. Then the very next play, you get an unbelievable deuce block. They just said, we're taking over the game in the fourth quarter, and that's what they did.
Teams want to do that.
Absolutely.
That's what teams want to do. It's
That's what
very
they wanna
hard to do, though, because Atlanta also fancies themselves a tough football team.
Yep.
Can't run on us. Detroit said, you sure about that?
Yeah.
You sure about that? And they just pounded them. That's good news for later in the season, is it not?
Unreal for them. And third week in a row, correct me if I'm wrong here, Foxy, they lose an offensive lineman. Somebody else goes in, plug and play, keep it moving.
Yep, Decker should be back. Sewell move back to right tackle. He'll play left tackle. They should be pretty good on tomorrow, Thursday.
There you go.
Oh, against the Packers.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Little bully ball on the NFC North.
Mm-hmm. We got this team finally back in the mix. Obviously, we saw them a lot last year, and here we are. We get them back on the board. This guy has been a game changer. He's been an X factor, but it always starts with him in the run game. Always starts with Kelsey in the run game. They do a fantastic job here. Bowles loves to blitz. Hey, we're going to come with a Mike Sam blitz. But instead of hearing Clyde, let's put the brakes on. That creates the hole right there. Boom. Put the brakes on. Seal 2 for 1. He is playing here. Doesn't know where to fit.
Jeez.
And Kelsey, look at him. Just gets to the second level, stays under balance, keeps his hips underneath him, and just drives a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker. And we get a big, gaping hole.
There was a lot of these on Monday night, AJ.
Hey, AQ, so that end's supposed to, I used to call it big stick, whatever. He's supposed to get all the way down, right, into that A-gap?
Yeah, so anytime you get the Mike
B-gap
Sam,
at least?
right? Yeah, you should get him kind of slanting here, right? He obviously is trying to get in this A-gap. He should go there. Then you should get the Mike scrape and the Sam outside. But Mailata does a fantastic job because here's the deal. He's climbing. They say this all the time. It's called converting double teams. Technically, originally, they were going to work a little slip block to there. But when he goes here, you see him put the brakes on. Now he can come back and help the tight end Goddard, and they do a great job just sealing. You get the whole thing just bottled up right there.
And that safety off the edge, he's responsible for Hurts on the pull if he pulls it.
Which we talked about that a ton last year. These guys don't know how to fit their run game. That's why they get so many holes, because he should really kind of just settle here or come flying off the edge, but he's got to slow play everything because of Hurts.
Yep.
Are you worried about the Eagles at all because other people are? Or are they just doing their same thing, it's just not as dominant?
Yeah, listen, you get a year under the belt to study Hurts, right? And there's so many things that you can pick up on, and just because they're not putting up 500, not being as dominant, again, like he said, they're getting wins. Who cares, right? They're going to play their brand of defense. They got a great crew again.
Oh.
And then they got this. This is awesome. Look at him. He's hurdling Winfield in midfield. This is incredible.
Hey, can we get that quote from Jalen Hurts about the losing that he just said? Because it feels like they're made of the right stuff. Jason Kelsey came on the show and talked about how we haven't played our best game yet, but we're going to have to. I think Jason Kelsey, too, he's got a target on him a little bit this year, huh?
100%. These guys and this guy, we can't say enough good things about him. So, Vita Vea, I played against him. I played with him. Absolute animal. He's 370 pounds, as quick as it can be. And so, this was a big game because he likes to go against him. Obviously, it's a tough matchup, back and forth. Got him a couple times. He gets him a couple times. It's a beautiful battle.
But Kelsey is being labeled the greatest center of all time, and the offense goes through him. And then the 92% for the whole thing. It's like, I assume D linemen are like, hey, this is probably the guy that we're going to have to. Jason Kelsey doesn't want it any other way.
Nope. No. He lives for it. The D linemen live for it. That's why he played a game.
How about him? Grade 2 sprain all year last year?
Yeah.
Did you watch that documentary at all?
I did.
It was awesome.
Awesome.
I thought it was a good doc. Amazon did a good job.
White's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
Hey, here's the quote from Jalen Hurts. Feels like they're made of the right stuff. The reporter goes, we might look at a QB and say, well, he threw for 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, team lost. But wins aren't a QB stat. So it's not his fault they lost, but you seem not to care about any of that stuff, and it's just about, did the Eagles win? Did they not win? How'd you get to that point? Jalen Hurts says, by losing. Okay.
Love it.
Losing sucks more than any touchdown you'll throw or any interception that'll come out there. They're made of the right stuff over there. We still think they're going to make it to the end, right?
Yeah, they're going to be in there. They're going to be in the mix every year as long as they can keep this core together. Now it's going to start to get a little interesting because they paid Jalen. It's going to start getting real interesting to see who they can keep. Obviously, we've seen this all the time when they paid Russell, when they pay other guys, right? That's why San Fran can stay good. That's why a lot of these things, your windows when you have this rookie quarterback. Now, can they keep it all together? Obviously, for this year, yes. We'll see what they do moving forward.
This team, how are they going to keep everybody together is going to be fascinating. Absolute buzzsaw happening here. And in the trenches, I thought this team only threw the ball.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's what I love about McDaniel. Here, let's stop this real quick because here's what I love about this sequence.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah.
So this guy's the key to this. We're going to talk about this. We talk about this all the time, right? We talk about the chess match, right? We talk about setting up plays. What does that mean, right? These next 2 plays, that's the whole reason why I did this sequence. When watching this, I thought this was so cool. So this is somewhere around the 12-minute mark of the first quarter. Check this out. Here's your fullback, number 30, Ingold, right? He's going to motion in the backfield. Armstead's back, obviously a stud. Pause it real quick. You got Tyreek Hill lined up right here. What is he doing? What is that stance? No idea, but check it out. Here's what you're going to notice.
Dumping? It's like a dump.
Maybe a porn star
It's like
thing?
a wood dump.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Before we let this thing run.
On his ding dong.
That's exactly.
Potentially, yeah. Just a dangle sesh.
So
it's hot, airing it out.
Yeah, could have been. Balls is hot.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of things.
Taron Armstead.
We don't know exactly which one it is, though.
No. He's sitting on like a little chair.
That's a
that
horrible
we can't
stance,
see.
isn't it?
Oh, that looks sweet. I
It's a
think that
bad
looks cool.
stance.
I can't say it like that.
It's a bad stance.
You can poop in garages like that don't have bathrooms.
True.
And camping.
That's right.
Or anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Ty was doing last week.
No. I was pooping in the toilet.
Oh, that was in the toilet. Oh, yeah. God. Okay, so check it out. They get Taron Armstead back, and most teams run the crack toss. They pull this guy around. Here's what I love about this.
Hell yeah.
They're going to send him through. By sending him through, he thinks counter coming to him, which is only doing what? Setting up something, because now we're going to get the crack block down. But now check this out. We're going to send him in fly motion. Watch these guys. Shit, crack toss is coming, right? They're right. They're right. But it screws him up for a sec. See how he had to play down thinking counter's coming to him. Now we get the crack. Now let this thing run. You get the fullback out. You get Taron Armstead. Look at this fucking guy move in space.
Damn.
Look at the center get up to the backer. And you get a big chunk play. Awesome. Perfect. Let this thing roll. Next play. Here we go. What do we have here?
Oh,
30. Same thing. Motions
When's
in the
this,
backfield.
third quarter, fourth
This
quarter?
is second quarter, 15 minutes left. Now we get the same exact thing. We get him here. Oh, shit, we think crack's coming. We think the crack toss is coming.
Wait.
We get him flowing out here.
Hold on.
First play, second quarter.
Hold on.
So it's the first play of the second quarter?
First play, second quarter.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, here we go.
That's
All right.
it.
I love that.
That's exactly right.
Hell yeah.
And then we get Tyreek Hill getting the motion again. So now these guys, oh, shit, crack toss. He thinks, crack toss, I got to fly and get this thing going. Check this out. Watch this setup.
Oh.
Boom. Nope. Put the fucking brakes on. And now we get the come back across. And look at that hole.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Denver's not even trying.
Pretty awesome.
That's
Now,
good setup. You're saying
that is what you do when you are a genius play caller, because a lot of coaches talk about it. Hey, let's play the chess game. Let's get everything set up. But the reality is once you get into a game, you lose sight of that. You have it on your paper. Hey, let's set this up so we can come back to this. But then the game happens and you don't get a chance to do that. So there, we get the crack toss, make everything look the same. We come back again. We get the exact same formation, exact same motion. Look at him. He's pointing already. Crack toss, crack toss, crack toss. He's thinking, crack toss. Boom. We come back with the wind back.
we're talking about the throws. You're saying, hey, maybe the run game needs a little bit more respect as well, seemingly.
They're so good. Everything sets it up. Again, there was a couple shovel passes in this game. We saw the shovel passes. There was two of them. There's one with the no look, one later in the game. There's 4 more plays coming off of that, I promise you. That's a setup. Those shovel passes here this week. Next week, it's the reverse. Next week, it's this. Next week, it's that. You don't know what's coming.
He's a real deal down there.
Absolute stud.
He wakes up 2:30 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
Stud. And I love his comments. Like, there was a quote where somebody said, like, something along the lines of, like, why aren't you doing all the other stuff? What's making you so creative? And he said something along the lines of, like, why would I do what everybody else is doing?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not coaching.
Yeah.
I love it.
Why try to fit in? I'm trying to stand out. Wiz Khalifa said that.
That's right. Bingo.
You know what I mean? That's what McDaniel's saying down there.
That's exactly right.
How about him running? You know how confident he is? Him racing that cameraman, looking at the cameraman, like just that in itself is like, oh, here's a guy that is so comfortable and confident. And the only reason why a head coach and offensive play caller would be like that is because if he knows. And it feels like they know, though.
Oh, yeah.
They got it. 3 points they're getting this weekend.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
Take it. Take it.
I mean,
take it.
We just talked to Gabe Davis. I appreciate Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
I like Gabe Davis. I think the Buffalo Bills team are going to be a team, and I think the last 2 weeks they've certainly looked better than it did week 1. But like no team has looked like the Dolphins.
No,
possibly ever.
Agree.
The Dolphins have just been. I don't know. That's an interesting one. Let's go to some cheap shots. No, big bumps. Big bumps. Big bumps.
Yeah, whatever we want to call it.
Oh,
Foxy. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We won.
We got to show this guy because obviously, listen,
Jalen
this
Hurts.
is going to happen whenever it's Hutchinson, whenever it's Max Crosby, and you play with effort like this. but you also got a target. You also know that those body blows add up and add up and add up and add up as the game goes on. So watch Chris Lidstrom, who also makes $20 million a year. Immediately, eyes go to him.
Oh, no.
What do you think's going to happen, boys?
Rib check.
Oh, boy. Hey, let me also say this.
Hot chick.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Welcome to your second year, pal.
I mean, there's nothing Hutch can do about this, obviously. But, boy, how pumped is he whenever he knows that he has this free shot at?
It's unbelievable. And another thing that kind of sets this thing
he's
up,
looking at the running back.
he thinks Chip's coming, so now he has to play more down the middle as opposed to work the edge. And when that happens, oh, boy.
Now, to be clear, second year. Okay.
Yeah,
cool. Good point.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Two, there is a lot of spotlight on this particular guy.
Agree.
In his second year, which sometimes is a gift, sometimes is a curse.
Oh,
man. My God.
It's a good one.
Hey, and he bounces right back. Hutch is a dog.
Watch him.
Had 2
Watch him
sacks.
roll up. You see him spinning, like trying to get up. He's getting up before he even hits the ground almost. Like, that's his motor.
Still going to get to the quarterback.
Tough son of a bitch.
He does go hard every single play.
He's
He rolls. I mean, his effort's incredible. Got to finish a little better, but his effort's
Whoa,
incredible.
you.
I'm not saying anything. Just got to get a couple more sacks.
You don't like Hutchish.
I love the way he plays.
Here we go, another one.
Okay, we get a little lead action coming. Landon Dickerson, who's playing really, really, really good football, as good as any lineman really playing at left guard right now.
Full Strange.
Check this. Yeah, he's playing well. Check this out. He goes down the line. Same thing. Young guy. I think he's a rookie. Watch out. Watch out, because here comes a pull and a finish. Oh, boy.
See him.
Oh, boy.
He doesn't see him.
Squeezes.
How happy are the offensive linemen to wear all white on primetime?
Do you remember how happy I used to get?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, God.
Oh, buddy.
He's a big son of a
This
bitch.
dude is a lumbering son.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Watch-
look how
watch-
big this
You
guy
weigh 4 bills?
Can we look up Landon Dickerson's
Look at his
dimensions?
forward lean.
What are
His
this
forward
guy's
lean's
dims?
unbelievable.
Yeah, what's he eating?
Look at his center of
No
gravity.
need
Of course he can have that forward lean. Look at this fucking guy.
He's listed.
Holy
6'6",
shit.
6'6", 330. Listed.
Yeah.
Holy.
I
430.
love list weights.
I might have to Olay that guy.
Oh, and then watch him fall on him too. This is the best part. Oh yeah, he falls on him after.
6'6", 350.
That's the worst.
Forearm at the end.
Lacerated
Oh, I
the
hate
lean.
that.
Oh, my God. This dude is huge.
Yeah,
Jesus.
plays like a dog too. Watch him never stop his feet. Run through contact. God.
My Lotta, too.
So
Yeah.
big.
Boy, they're
Oh, yeah, he's
huge.
6'8", 370 listed.
Wow. And then if you would like to have an excuse for this,
What's this?
What we got here?
what's this, AQ?
Hold on. What's
that?
this?
Oh, we got the
Hey,
one.
Kish, what's
Hold on,
this, hey,
hold on,
Kish?
hold on. Here, let's pause it. We're in air conditioning. There we go. Let's slow this down to 1/150,000th of a frame.
Okay.
Okay.
False start. False start.
They all look
False
like they're
start.
moving at
False
the
start.
same time.
Nope.
That looked incredible.
Nope. Look
False
at that
start.
leg kick.
Look, we get the tap. We get the tap again.
Maybe if he didn't kick his right
He's going
leg
to turn.
so
He's going to
high.
turn. There's the turn
False
of the head,
start.
and he's
false
gone.
start.
Can't do
He's
it.
already gone.
False start kick.
Perfect.
He's
The
already
kick
gone.
that makes it look worse.
Easy
than-
false
Yeah,
start.
his kick
Yeah, the
makes
kick
it look
makes it
way
look
worse.
worse.
And he's in all whites. You know
Here,
what
but
I mean?
let's really break this down. Watch Kelsey's head. They do a side turn. Watch the side turn, and that's all he's looking at. See how he's looking in? As soon as you see his head turn slightly to the left, he's moving. Eyes back out, moving. Watch it.
He's already gone.
Well, just wait. Here it is. Let's real slow. We're gonna break this all down.
Yeah, it's cheating, of course.
Yeah, we got to move
It's
that
a
back
false
5
start.
yards. Yeah.
False
Nope.
start.
I know
Nope.
you need to get out there because Carl
Ball
Nassib's
hadn't
out
moved
there.
yet.
But
Yeah, the ball's still in his hands. And
And let's see.
This thing's really tough going forward slow.
yeah, you can actually tell better when you rewind it.
yeah. False start.
I mean,
See a little head turn? Little head turn? That's perfect.
Look, when you go back. When
Hey,
you,
Lane, way to jump the count. Way to anticipate, baby. Way to go, Lane.
Yeah.
What, are you guys all defensive players in
Nah,
here? Come
no,
on.
we just have eyes.
Yeah, I'm here for the shields, Al.
Says
hate the
the
offense,
guy who's
but,
a New England fan. Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
really cheated the
Oh.
shield for years.
Yeah,
Hold
exactly.
on, though. He
Game respect game.
It's pretty close.
Not that close.
no.
Pretty close.
No.
Look at that.
yards
Look-
deep.
He's almost landed by the time
That
the ball-
arm's moving right there. That arm already moved.
Huh?
It's just a leg in the air.
Yeah, a false starting leg.
He had to slow down almost.
Yeah. He got to a spot.
He got
that
set
was
so
really good.
quick.
It's good. He got to a spot. Then he just settled.
This is unbelievable that this is happening, though. Don't you think abuse leads to restriction here, Lane? Maybe jumping a little bit too loud?
It's like I said, when you sit in air conditioning and you break this down to the slowest of slow motion.
We are frame by frame right now.
Yeah, why are you
Exactly.
whispering?
We're frame by frame.
And it's pretty tough to get
It's pretty easy. But if you let this thing go in 100% full speed with that guy looking down the line of scrimmage through his helmet.
So I can't see him.
What about the ref on this
Can't see
side?
it. Yeah. This guy going through that guy's helmet ain't seeing shit.
Well, you can see
it
his
all looks.
foot. I mean, his foot is all the way.
Look, this ref, be better.
It's pretty simultaneous to me. Good job, Eagles. Way to
All
teach
right,
it up.
way to go,
coach it up.
Lane. That a baby Lane.
Now we're talking.
Hey, way to go in the trenches. We appreciate you, AQ. Honestly,
AQ.
it's been a hell of a Wednesday. We appreciate Bobby, JJ, Gabe, AQ, D Butch. Great work this week, D Butch. You want to pick the game tomorrow night, D Butch? You like Lions or Packers?
Give me the Lions.
Oh,
hell yeah!
Wait,
In
Watson, is
Lambeau.
Watson coming back tomorrow?
He's
I think
supposed
so.
to,
Yeah, he
but,
says
you know,
he's
these
supposed to.
guys, who fucking knows? This guy's supposed to play
Yeah, I'm not.
every week. You know?
I'm not feeling the morale right now for the Packers side of the So yeah, I go with the Lions.
Strictly because of him?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it is a little bit of bad vibes. If Bakhtiari playing this week or not?
Am I playing this week? I mean, it's like we'll see. I don't know. Aaron Jones is back, which is really
For sure.
That's a big deal.
Well, Romeo Doubs let it slip yesterday in the locker room. I don't know if he was supposed to. I think LaFleur kind of walked it back a little bit. But him and Christian Watson allegedly are on track to play. I haven't heard anything about Bakhtiari, though.
All right, before we get out of here, so you're on the Lions.
I'm the Lions.
All right, we'll make our picks tomorrow. AQ, you want to throw some footballs to try to win some people's stuff on this winter Wednesday?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go, AQ.
Come on
now.
You got 4 footballs. Which hoop are you aiming at?
Go that one.
All right. All right, if you make one of these, what are we giving away?
10?
Merches?
Sure. 10
Bottles
merches.
of beef pills?
10 merch.
10 red lights.
Those are expensive, I assume.
Yeah, never mind. Don't do that.
Comes
Don't
with
do
an
that.
extra flush.
All right, we'll give away 2 red. How much are the red light things?
Those little ones.
The little
The
ones?
small one for your face.
The little ones aren't,
Your face
the
and
little
bu-
ones aren't bad.
Yeah, the
Little ones
face
are
and
like
dong
500.
one's a couple hundred.
$500.
All right, we'll give away 4 of your little face things.
There we go.
Okay, and 10 merches.
Wow.
All right, so red light sauna
Big.
for your face. If AQ, the face of this entire thing, can bury one of these footballs into that hoop. Let's go, AQ.
go, Al.
Great in the trenches today. This man was a center, but is he a quarterback today for the people?
Ooh.
Oh,
Jeez Louise.
short. Can't make it if it doesn't get there, guys.
That's right.
Right on line.
Oh,
Gotta play to win.
Can't throw the ball.
4 red light saunas.
Ooh.
Good.
Thought that was good.
4 red light saunas for your face are available here. If AQ, shh.
Oh, that was close.
Well, that one wasn't. but
That was close.
the one before was.
This is the last one.
I feel good about it.
You got it.
If AQ Ships can make this football into that basketball hoop right over there, we'll give 4 red light sauna face things.
Okay.
Valued at about $500 a pop. And also 10 merches to somebody who retweets this video and says something nice to somebody. All you need is the Penn State legend, the Super Bowl champion coach and player to bury this one football into the basketball hoop.
Ryder Cup
4
week, baby.
facials, 10 merches.
Here we go.
Right here, AQ Shipley.
Never a chance.
This guy sucks.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
That went into the
Into the gym.
went into the locker room.
It's stuck in the water fountain.
Water fountain.
This guy missed the entire building.
That was
It's impressive
terrible.
that it's stuck in the water fountain.
Aren't there 5
It's like a
balls?
trick shot.
Oh,
That was a
four.
trick shot. he
We
just
got
did.
something for you
It's
over
only
here.
4.
Oh yeah.
a bottle
Not
flip.
that one.
You can throw that one. You can throw that one. You can throw that one.
Yeah. If you
can
want
throw
your
that one.
hands.
Sure, that's a
Yeah, you can throw that one.
pretty good logo.
It is a good logo. You can throw it though.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, just make sure it ends up in the gym.
Yeah.
Your last throw left the fucking gym. I mean, geez Louise, people are
Still
trying
lifting.
3 facial saunas, 10 merches.
Come on.
If AQ Shipley can bury this football into that basketball hoop right over
shot.
yonder, all you gotta do is retweet this video and say something nice to somebody. AQ, why don't you do it for the people?
Let's do it.
Everybody wants better faces. Give them the facials they need.
You got it, AQ. Oh.
Couldn't even make it into the net holes.
Huge.
Wasn't
Right
my
on
day.
line.
Wasn't my day. Thanks, AJ. That was good.
People do that by
It
accident.
was, though.
Hughes, got one more for you.
Hold on.
Make sure you calibrate.
Oh, wait, calibrate.
Yep, I'll calibrate it.
Watch your hands when you're catching this. I know you don't have calluses anymore. All right.
Careful.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's going through the wall.
How far does this thing go?
You throw it a mile yards.
Yeah, you have to really zing it. You got to put some oomph into it.
It's up to you. That's a Russell Wilson dorsal fin.
Yeah.
Yep.
That ball right there, if you put it into that hoop right over there, we will give 5 red face things, sauna things, red light sauna things. That AQ, there it is. That's what we'll give out.
That's not it.
Looking like it's from Tomb. What's that?
The Mask. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
There it is.
Yeah,
Legends
Olmec.
of the Olmec, yeah. That is what it looks like there. We will give 5 people the red light facial treatments that AQ has to do every single morning to keep him looking this young, this in shape. Not only is it good for the face, also good for other parts of your body.
That's right.
From what we've been told.
That's right, AJ.
5 people will get to experience that if you make this dorsal fin football into that basketball hoop over there.
Come on.
Never a dot. Oh. Never a dot. All right, thank you, AQ.
I thought this thing was going to go a mile.
Hey, great work, AQ. No winners on this Wednesday except for us learning more about ball.
Yeah.
Thank you to JJ for joining us. AQ, great work. I appreciate Gabe Davis making some time to chit-chat with us. Tomorrow, we got a big one.
Huge.
Because we kick off NFL week, what? 4.
Let's go.
Already.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, we're
Put your 4s up.
I'd
It's
enjoy
almost
it.
October.
I'd enjoy it.
we're rolling. It's almost Halloween.
It's nuts.
And you know, once Halloween comes,
Boom, Thanksgiving.
It's almost Thanksgiving.
and then what?
Boom.
Yeah, it's almost Christmas.
And then what?
Playoffs.
And it's almost college football playoff.
Oh, my God.
Then it's almost the
Slow
Super
it
Bowl.
down. Slow it down.
We're basically
Slow
at
down.
the Super Bowl.
Yep.
All right, let's enjoy the hell out of it all. We'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Goodbye.